ever happened to you where the screen freezes like this?
Yeah, sometimes it does that.
Will it come back?
Let me see. You know it ends and then. What I usually do is I restart. Yeah. But look. Yeah.
I'm gonna restart it because
it's moving.
yeah, for one.
I'll check it for you. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you bothered.
You got a topic or do you want me to speak?
Yeah, I'll open up whenever we
Okay.
we'll go see what we can. Get me Lamentations to overcome. Let me have a cup. Habakkuk 2. We start with Habakkuk 2, and then we'll come to Lamentation 3 after that. Yeah, Habakkuk 2, starting from the top.
Should we open up?
Yeah. Is it on?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So, yes, man, back out here on another Saturday. We're going to open up now by giving all praises to Yahweh,
Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Makakodash.
Shalom to all the sincere Akim. We're going to just go straight into it, man. Back out here on another day, man.
Double honours to the elders.
Yeah, double honours to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the sincere Akim and the Afwakim. Yeah, you're watching and learning in sincerity and truth.
Right, so Habakkuk 2 from verse 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so this is the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 starting at verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
Yeah, so we're going to pull it, stop there, yeah? I will stand upon my watch. So that's what we're doing now. We stand upon our watch, man. And you know what? We're really never off duty. Actually, to be honest, we're never off duty. We're always aware of what time we're living in. When we watch the news, I know we can't just switch off, especially when you watch the news. And even when you're just coming home from work or when you're going to work, sometimes precepts probably just come to your mind when you see certain things, like you might see an accident, you know. So I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. And so we're on our tower, we're on that watch, man. Back in the day, it used to be called the watchtower. And you have to be alert, you know. They would have times, you know, what they call it, shifts. So you got the night shift, you got the day shift.
Yeah.
But we actually don't have, you know, we're always on duty, man. It's 24 hours because brothers around the world, you know, we've got the news bombarding us daily. Like I say, we've got the precepts now. We are woke to what time it is.
Yeah.
And we can't just switch off. I mean, there's ways we can, but I mean, we can get into that, you know. There's ways we can. Yeah, carry on from 2 where you stopped.
And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Yeah. So we have to make it plain. I mean, I remember Yakel, he says that. I remember one of his phrases, as well as talking about Psalms 51, something that I remember him for, saying we must pray and what's the word? Reaffirm that in our minds, Psalm 51, you know, how the Most High has mercy upon King David, and that's us, you know, for our sins, but also make it plain so that people can understand some of the biblical terms, like just broke down, watchtower, the banner, you know, breaking down terms like that so that people can understand. And even if we got deep, brothers go deep, yeah, but the art of going deep when you watch a lot of the elders and the apostles and brothers, is to try and simplify it, to make it as simple as possible, so that you got the new ones coming in too. Which is is an art to that. Is an art to that, and we're learning every day, you know.
I've got a precept for you.
Yeah.
Bear with me a second, just pulling it up.
Let me slow it down. If I get a bit too, you know my spirit.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just remind me, yeah.
Right, so I've got a precept for you on this point.
Yeah.
So this is Acts 8 and verse 26. And the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise and go towards the south, the way that goeth down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, an eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem to worship, and was returning and sitting in the chariot reading Isaiah the prophet. Then said the Spirit unto Philip, Go near and join thyself unto this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him, and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, Understandest what thou readest? Here's the point. And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit in the carriage with him. So the Ethiopian eunuch, he was reading the book of Isaiah, and he was trying to understand it. And the Spirit told Philip to go onto his carriage, and he asked him, Do you understand what you read? And he said, How can I, unless some man should interpret it for me? So that's going back to what you're saying about write the vision upon tables and make it plain, that he may run that readeth. So that's what the prophets are out here to do, to expound these dark sayings, parables and mysteries contained within the scriptures, so that the elect can come to the understanding and receive this knowledge.
Right.
Back to you.
Yeah, because we've got the term that's very familiar now, it is anyway. Everybody understands. We talk about the MOTV, you know, in Revelation 16, Revelation 3 and 10. People for the most part in the truth know what we're getting at. But sometimes, you know, we break it down, we have to break it down and make it plain for people to understand. And, you know, you might have to be, as the elders them do, get a little bit more, what's the word, repetition, man. Repetitious with certain things. Because that's how things stay with you.
Yeah.
You know, to drill it. And we know the apostles, they've been heavy on that. Going into that heavy. Drilling that into the people them. And if you're new in the truth, some people are not even in the truth and they know about it. You know, but you got some that's, you know, as they say, probably took a bag, or maybe they just being like the bullfrog, you know, the stubborn bullfrog, not wanting to take it on board because of the reputation of GMS, whatever reason. It's been made plain.
Mm-hmm.
It's been made plain.
So read verse 3.
Carry on.
Verse 3 says, back in Habakkuk 2 and 3, For the vision is yet for an appointed time,
Right.
but at the end it shall speak and not lie, fully come,
Yeah.
and will not tarry.
So tarry, man, that word there. The vision is yet for an appointed time. So there's an appointed time. And nobody knows what that appointed time is. Not even Jehovah Shai, or what the Christians they're calling Jesus, knows the appointed time. So it may well seem to tarry. When you don't know, you know, when something's coming, it seems to take longer. You know, but what we do, how to deal with that, we just keep our head, you know, do your bang up, as they say, man.
Do your bang up?
Yeah,
What's that?
when man going to, you know, get locked up.
Oh,
You know,
do your
some
time,
people
yeah.
I've heard people cry. Ah! Some people commit suicide. I was in the police station a couple of times when I was younger. Some people, they start bawling. You know the story. But because they ain't doing, you know, they did the crime.
They can't do the
They
time.
can't do the time, and they're not focusing on. Yeah, just hold it down. Wait, there's an appointed time. The key's gonna come through the door any minute now. But I'm being punished. And stay focused. You understand? For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Well, we're doing a bang up. We're doing time now.
That's right. Yeah, we're suffering the punishment of our iniquity because we transgressed against the Most High.
Yeah, and that's in that's what is that Micah chapter 9?
7 verse 9.
9.
Do you want me to get it?
Yeah, that one.
That's one of my favourite scriptures, man.
might have. Let me check.
I think it's alright.
This is Micah chapter 7 and verse 9. And it says, now let me start from verse 8. No, 7. 7's even good, man. Therefore, I will look unto Yahweh. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. Because that's what the Edomites are doing right now. They're rejoicing over us at our downfall. Not just the Edomites, but all the nations, man. They're rejoicing that we're in a broken state. And they never want to see us rise up again, man. So it says, rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. And when I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. Here's the point. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness.
Yeah. So while you're on that topic, when we spoke about bearing the indignation, didn't it?
Yeah.
And waiting for the judgments. When it talks about here, standing upon our watch. How do we just, if we just didn't, some people, they say, I can't wait no more, that time it didn't come, and they jump at the fire, before the refinery comes.
Yeah.
Right now we're being refined in the spirit. But at the same time, we're standing upon our watch, and what are we seeing? What this article here, yeah, because this for me, I don't know about anybody else, but when I see things like this, right, this is, well, I believe I'm speaking for a lot of brothers as well. At least 280 dead, 90 injured in train incident.
What country is this?
This is, you want to read it?
I can read it for you if you want, yeah. You have to take your phone out.
Yeah.
Oh, BBC News, okay.
Yeah, I'll let you read it. Bring some of that out.
Yeah.
Probably when the elder comes, we're going to get into some more, some more prophecy. Yeah, it's up.
Can't, yeah. Right, this article is from the BBC News, published on 3rd of June, which is today. It says, Odisha train accident. My mother was missing. I got a picture of the body. It says the train collision, I knew it would be India. Because in India, they pack on them trains like fucking rats, man. Right, so it says a train collision in India's eastern Odisha state on Friday evening, the country's worst this century, involved 2 passenger trains and a freight train. So that sounds like 3 trains collided.
Yeah.
It says at least 288 people were killed.
Yep.
And 1,000 injured. Barakathiya Halba Shemya Shai, man, put a smile on my face. The BBC spoke to villagers who witnessed the crash and an injured passenger. It says Sir Sareva is one of the witnesses. My mother and my grandmother were on the train. They were going to the city to buy medicines. I found my granny a few hours after the incident. She was alive, but my mother was missing. We looked everywhere for her, but we could not find her. I didn't know what to do, so I forwarded a photo of my mother to all my friends and acquaintances. I shared her number as well and described the color of the dress she was wearing when I last saw her.
Does it go into a little bit more general? Because if there's any bit more general, like to say why it happened. I know. I think the latest article is that there's a bit more than it's about 300, maybe.
All right. Let me just finish this little sentence, and I'll look for the meat. Right. This morning I heard from one of my friends. They sent me a picture of a body. It was my mother. She was wearing the same dress. So let me get, this is basically witnesses' accounts, this article here. So there's loads of witness testimonies. Right, so it says, now it's got a history of, it goes into a history of Indian train crashes from 1981 up to the present day.
Right.
This article doesn't go into any more general about why it happened.
Right. Read one example then, and then we just...
I've changed to another page, haven't I?
Right.
It says, a recovery operation is underway in India after hundreds of people were killed or injured in a 3-train crash in the eastern Odisha state. The crash took place on Friday evening after the Comrado Express passenger train heading south collided with a parked freight train and derailed. Man, you know, I've got in my head, I'm imagining how that must have looked, man. That's like, you know, some action film type shit, the train going off the rails and sliding and shit. It says, several carriages from the train ended up on the tracks. Shortly afterwards, a second passenger service, the Hira Superfast Express, traveling in opposite direction, crashed into the derailed train. That's all it says on this article, yeah. So that's how that happened. But really, it's the Most High, man.
Yeah. So yeah, we was at 3. Read 3 again.
Habakkuk 2 and 3.
Chapter 3. Yeah, chapter 2 and verse
Right.
3.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
So it's speaking. It's speaking now, man. So it's not about, oh, it's you know, it's nothing's happening. A lot's happening. There's lots taking place.
Yeah.
Jehovah's judgments is in the earth. The earth is rising up against the wicked, man. That's all little stepping stones before the missiles are coming.
Yeah.
And we're going to see much more of these things. If you got well, I know the Most High is toughening us up if we ain't tough already by now, but to get that cast iron stomach,
Yeah.
because there's going to be a lot more of these type of things.
Just Deuteronomy 32 and verse 39.
Yeah, we're going to start seeing a lot more, man. So when you're ready, yeah?
Yeah, just pull it up, baby.
Yeah, so we're going to see a lot more. The scripture in Psalms 110 talks about the blood. Matter of fact, I can read that. You read that.
I found it.
Yeah, go on.
Deuteronomy 32 and verse 39, because the Most High is behind this. It says, see now that I, even I am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Yep.
Might I say something, Baba Kashaf? Just a quick one, not to, hopefully this is on point, but something interesting happened to me last Sunday. I was in my house and I was going up in the loft and I was putting boxes into storage in the loft. It so happened that the ladder I was standing on gave way and I fell out of the loft. Now, it was quite high up, but I landed and I thought, oh shit. And I got up and I had not a scratch on me. And that's crazy because it was quite a far drop. And that made me realize, you know what, man? If the Most High don't want you to be injured, you're not going to be injured. Like, you're going to walk away from something without a scratch. So bringing it back to this train crash, everybody that died in that crash, that was their judgment to die in that crash. And for those that walked away, it wasn't their time. So the Most High can deliver you from the most craziest of situations. Like, you hear about, you know, crazy car crashes where, you know, 7 people die and 1 person comes out without a scratch. That's the power of the Most High, man, because as I read in Deuteronomy 32 and 39, every wound that you receive is at the hand or the command of the Most High. Back to you.
And on the flip side, if I may, there's incidences of people bumping their head lightly on the door and they die.
Really?
Yeah. People stub their toe and fall over and they die, man. So it doesn't mean, and that's a piss take.
Yeah.
You know, you're gone, you know.
Yeah.
But just to add to your point, bro, you know, the Lord, you can be in a devastating crash, and if it's not your time to go, you ain't gonna go. And then you can be in a situation on the flip side where it's not that deep and you die from it. Just proves, as you're saying, it's all the Lord.
Can't.
Yeah. So that just it really sums it up, man. So the vision is yet for the appointed time, but the end it shall speak.
And that's why we should fear the Lord. Fear the Lord, man. Because imagine the eulogy of that. You know, Sister Gertrude unfortunately bumped her head and died. That's a piss take, man. The way of your death is that you just lightly hit yourself.
Yeah.
But that's the Most High, man. You know, that takes that element of tomorrow and security. You know, that's something that this world severely lacks. You know, the fear of what if tomorrow doesn't come for me, man, and the security of tomorrow, man. You know, that's why the scripture speaks about do not say for the morrow, but we ought to say Lord willing, if the Lord will.
Abba Ratazar in the Hebrew, that's Father willing. Abba, Father, Ratazar willing, and I learned that from a brother when I first come in. I kept seeing that on the chat.
Father willing, yeah.
And then you got what's the other one? Yahweh Ratazar, yeah. Yeah, so same thing. So that's what that is, man. When we say that, we say it now because we know it's nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed, man. Judgments are happening. Oh, a brother in GMS hello, brother. That was up on the chat. You know, it makes you realise, man. You know, maybe that was. Oh, I'll say maybe that was his lot. You understand? And for those of us in the future who probably was martyred in the past, those martyrdoms are gonna come back around again and be martyred.
Yeah.
I mean, in the future, and that is a what you call a that's an honor to die, you know, a faithful death. That's an honor.
That's right.
That's written down up there in the heavens.
Greater love hath no man than this, than that he layeth down his life for his friends. So that's one of the greatest things you can do for Yahweh Shai, because he done that for us.
Yeah.
Right, shall I read on in Habakkuk?
Now let's jump that. I think we've finished on that.
Okay.
You can escape death if the Lord wants to, man.
Actually, no.
There's a number of times they tried to kill Yahweh Shai. They tried stoning him, that didn't work out. They tried to push him off a cliff, that didn't work out. He escaped, man. So if it's the Lord's will, man, you can see death in the face and not even, you know.
Yeah, we can read, yeah. So we can carry on reading 4.
Habakkuk?
Yeah, Habakkuk. Finish, read 3 again and then carry on reading.
All right, Habakkuk 2 and 3 again. For the vision yet is for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it,
Yep,
because it will come.
Yep, we're waiting by doing our work that has been assigned to us, each individually, collectively. You know, we're in our lot individually. The brothers are doing what they do. The brothers who are helpers are doing that. Brothers who are deep are bringing that deep. Because you know what? It's about, what's the word, man? The Most High is about He spices it up by putting everybody to be so unique and different. And you know what? He don't like to see that. You know, you remember you mentioned about that guy who came up earlier on?
Yeah, the one who's standing there. You had an Edomite come up and he was like looking down his nose at the sign and shit.
Because they hate when they actually, what really hurts them is when they see us standing up, and also when they see a group of us standing up together in unity.
Unified, yeah.
Talking, communicating with one another respectfully.
Yeah.
You know, not costing off, you know, just acting like niggers, because we're not niggers, man.
Yeah.
This is a new breed of people. They're potential elects.
If I may, that's why in Revelation the 11th chapter,
To them it's a new breed of people, but not to Yahweh.
Can't. In Revelation the 11th chapter, it speaks about how after 3 days and a half the Spirit of life entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. That's talking about what we're doing right now, standing upon our feet, prophesying this word. Our enemies see that. Who are our enemies? The other nations. And they feel great fear when they see us standing up unified in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's their greatest fear.
Yeah.
The
Because they
scriptures
know
we're
that's where our
quoting,
power is.
read them as well.
Oh,
Read
Salakia,
them.
yeah.
In between the main chapter, Habakkuk, read them.
Let me just bring it out for edification's sake, as the brother said. This is Revelation 11, starting at verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So that's the resurrection of the elect. Coming back into their right mind, coming back into the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of this truth, and prophesying. Which again ties into Ezekiel 37, but I don't want to go too far off into that topic. We're going to stick on Habakkuk. So back to you.
Yeah, because when that guy come up now, we're those men that have come back, Abarakta, we are those elect men that have come back, sound in mind, and what he's used to seeing, as you said, he came up, he's got that look at it, he's used to seeing, like, he's watching, well, you know, all what they like, they get off on seeing Jake
Killing each other.
and hearing about, and that Big Nasty, you know, you heard about you saw Big Nasty, he's got an advert now, just acting a fool, acting like he look nasty, the name speaks for him.
I have no idea who this character is, and I don't want to know.
So he's what you might call a stereotype nigger, what they like to see him. So when he came up and he saw how we are, right, bringing out this truth, he looked at this.
Yeah.
We're not fitting the stereotype. He's in his mind. He's like he's malfunctioning in his
Yeah.
mind. So
Can't
Karen,
process it.
you know, he can't. It's hard for him to process it, and the anger and resentment is really inside him. You know,
Yeah.
it's really building up inside him. Carry
Habakkuk
on.
2 and 4 says, Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Yeah, these people, they're contrary, man. They're contrary to this truth. They're contrary to people doing the right thing. They don't like it. Yeah, if you're doing any well, even on a carnal level, when they see Jake doing even well on a carnal level, you know, driving a nice car, to them it's like, he's probably done something, you know, wicked to get that.
Yeah.
He's probably, you know, a drug dealer or something. That's how they instantly think about us, because the soul that is up in them is not right in them. They're programmed to be like that.
Man, to your point.
Yeah.
And that's also why when Jake wants to be successful, he has to go through Esau's gatekeepers.
Right.
So let's say you've got a Jake who is driving a nice car, who is a celebrity. He's had to do some dirt in order to get that money to be able to buy that car.
Yeah.
So he's essentially defiled for having sold his soul to Esau to get those goods. So when Esau sees Jake who are not selling out and actually taking a stand for righteousness,
Yeah.
and like you said, it's a malfunction, and he said he don't like to see that.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to see us down and out, broken, and killing each other.
You mentioned that. Now there's another woman coming out talking about Cosby, Bill Cosby. You know the story of him. A lot of women came out and said that he sniffed their drinks. He raped them.
Yeah.
Now there's another woman, because they've got rid of the statute of limitation law right over there in America, just in time. A very good coincidence now for this woman to come out, because there's no statute of limitation now for rape, and if you're suspected of it.
Yeah.
So that's just one example of even if you're doing well, he was doing very well.
Yeah.
They could sweep the carpet away from you any time. There's that Jamie Foxx now that's come out. They're saying he was going to a job, a new film, right? He got the job to be to apply for this some new film, and they said that he had to get the Juk jab.
And he didn't take it.
No, he got that. So now I don't know if you heard, he's suffering from a coma. He's blind. What? Also, yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx is fucked up.
Yeah, he's
I didn't
fucked,
hear
man.
that.
Yeah, he's in a
You
coma.
got people saying, "Oh my God, pray for Jamie."
Shit, I didn't even know that.
He's finished, bro.
But that was the Most High anyway. That was the Most High anyway. But even still, he thought he was doing the right thing by selling himself out. The Most High said, "Nah, you ain't gonna work like that." But he's messed him up. He got the Juk jab, man. He's come out. I, in the back of my mind, I knew anyway. Straight away, I said, "That's the jab." You know, the symptoms. So they're saying he's blind. They're saying he's what's that word, man? He's paralyzed now.
Well, check that out. The Most High ain't playing, because didn't Jamie Foxx play Ray Charles?
Yeah.
The film.
Yeah.
And Ray Charles obviously blind. So look at the irony. Now he's blind and now he can't even move. That's terrible, man. But man, I say something briefly on what you said about the statute of limitations on rape.
Yeah.
There's an interesting, deeper angle to
I
that.
want to say grape, you know, because
Oh, Salakia, but
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying what the elders
all
say.
right, let me say.
I mean, it's your.
We're talking about grape juice here. This is ridiculous.
You
man.
don't have to,
can't
you don't
even-
want to.
No, I don't want the video to get clipped. So, but my point is that that's Esau trying to further distance men from women. Because let's say you deal with a woman, right? And then let's say you deal with her legit. In the back of your mind, you might be thinking, you know what, man? 10 years down the line, she might turn around and say that I raped her. So that's going to make many even more wary of interacting with women.
Yeah.
And what does that bring about? Depopulation, because men aren't going to want to mix with women, and women, you know, when you give these women all these kind of powers to be able to destroy men's lives, like we're talking about Bill Cosby, whether he did it or not, you know, let the Lord know that. But the point is that men are more afraid of dealing with women than ever. Because let's say you got money, you deal with a woman, you separate, she takes half of what you got. You know, so there's more. Esau's just basically making more and more strife between the sexes, man.
Yeah.
Back to you.
So yeah, that's what you call it, sexist. There's a sexist war now, a war between the sexes. We know that through brothers, you know, Kevin Samuels have been bringing that out, and the more I saw Kevin Samuels, the more I realized, especially over in America, but over here too, these women are just got. Esau has put demons on them, especially the nigger woman. He's literally put demons on them. They're walking around, they're actually demons, you might even say that. They're actually demons. So we've got one more in Habakkuk, then we're going to go into Ezekiel.
Right,
Go
verse
into that.
5, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, which is what we were just talking about, his philosophies.
Yeah.
He is a proud man, and neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Yeah. So he is as death, man. That word comes to mind, harbinger of death, in the
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes, 1968. He's a harbinger of death, man.
Wow.
What was that guy who had?
Dr. Cornelius or Dr. Sayers?
Yeah, and there was the other one that they had him all hemmed up in
Charlton Heston.
That's prophecy. That is the Most High put the spirit on them. That is how it's going to end up for them. Once the harbinger of death is bound up, yeah, that soul, the man that soul is lifted up, that is not upright in him. Once he's bound up, even if he was bound up there, there'd be a total different. The earth will flourish.
It would. You know, an example of that is look at lockdown.
Huh?
Remember lockdown when people were indoors and how the animals are coming back out and stuff?
Yeah.
That shows this man is wicked, man, and he needs to be bound.
So that's how we got all around the world. You know, yeah, all the Caribbean countries. They placed us in all the Caribbean countries. That was called divide and conquer. That was all by design. And he's over there now. In certain countries, one of them, some place in Africa, I can't remember exactly. Some place in Africa, where he's over there, and he's doing better. Well, I know, I could say Jamaica. He's doing better than the
actual Jamaicans.
The Jamaicans over there. The foreigners over in Jamaica are getting more looked after than the Jamaicans over there.
And now China's trying to fucking come up in Jamaica and act like they're running shit. And they're getting treated better, man. I don't want to get into that topic because it's going to go off topic, but go on.
No, man. So let's jump down to let's read 14 and then we go to Ezekiel.
Right, Habakkuk 2 and verse 14 says, "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea."
Yeah, so stop there, man. Because the earth is becoming now, it's filling up with the truth. And that is why you're seeing the earth now is fighting, the earth is struggling, there's a wrestling taking place. You got the hurricanes over there, the tornadoes, the flash floods hitting those places. You know, a lot of those north places up there over in America North, Georgia, Mississippi. The earth is becoming filled with the knowledge of the truth. The truth is filling the earth, man. The earth, this truth is spreading. And this is the power of this truth that is very, they know the power of this truth, as we was talking about. Why they do certain things to certain brothers' channels, you know, and as you said, this truth does more than what we may think.
Yeah.
That is why they're going behind the scenes. I call them the straw man. Remember Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
That man behind the curtain. He's a little feeble little man. If you just meet him down the road, you could pick him up like that off his feet. And just you might even just allow him, you know, disabled man in a wheelchair. These are the type of people that are fucking with our channels, man.
That's
behind
right.
The little straw men.
Yeah, little decrepit little Edomites.
Little Edomite men and women fucking around with our channels and because they can, behind the scenes, you see. But the earth is still becoming filled with this knowledge, man.
That's right.
The scripture, I'm quite it, but I'm gonna ask you to get it because you know, I ain't read it for a long time. Wisdom of Solomon, chapters 5.
Yep.
That's like the Marvel movie with Lady Gal, the Chinese little bitch. That's the old woman that's behind all the mastermind mafia shit. You ever heard of Lady Gal?
No, I don't watch the Marvel movies.
It's some new age shit, man. Kind of check some of it out. It's alright. But like they'll have like a whole Chinese mafia or whatever, right? A whole corrupt setup. And then when they finally meet the mastermind behind it, some old little Chinese woman with a stick, and it's like, how did you come up with all of this?
Yeah.
But she got big Russian dudes working for her, Chinese martial artists fucking shit up. But she's the brains behind it, as the brother's saying, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go to them top level devils, man. They're looking like they're knocking on death's door.
Yeah.
You had what's his name, Evelyn. He just fucking died. All right. He had to have how many heart transplants?
Yeah.
You know, they drink the blood. You know, they know that the life is in the. So they're trying to stay alive, but when you actually get up close with these people, they look like regular dudes, man.
Yeah. Oh, that remind me. Yeah, Sleepy Joe just had another lick.
Another fall, yeah.
Drop.
Drop again.
He looked like a proper old age pensioner falling down the steps. And he's 8 years old. He's an old age pensioner, man.
What other US president have you ever seen collapse as many times as him? That's all spiritual, man, because that shows you that Babylon the Great is falling, man.
And that weren't no little oh, I was kind of sitting down and I kind of like, he went from the top and he went flat down, boom. But you know what? read that precept first, and then
Wisdom 5 and
we
1.
go from there. Yeah, Wisdom chapter 5.
Right,
from
Wisdom
1.
5, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, starting at verse
Bible
1.
shop.
That's fine. No problem. It says, then shall that righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
Yeah, just stop there for a minute, because there's been accounts of brothers have got so many stories about two when we was down where we used to be with, in the other camp. There was a lot of good things that happened. There was a lot of what you might call there was a lot of drama, and we saw two a man and a woman just collapse right in front of in a very infamous area. You remember where we used to be? I don't need to say it on thing,
I can attest to that because I've seen similar things at a place we was teaching before, where people just drop as they come across the camp. Carry on.
This is the power of the truth. He's under pressure. Don't get it twisted. He acting all like everything that, because I know what he's like. I used to, we've worked for him, but I was in a Christian church, and they always say, smile. What's that song? Smile when everything's falling to pieces. Smile. There's a famous song.
Oh, I think I know. Even when the rain is falling. Them kind of stupid songs.
One of them stupid songs. So they say to you, just smile with just smile when you go out there. Just smile. I've worked for a building merchants. The customer's always right. When things are falling to pieces, smile.
Yeah.
You look like you're in control.
Yeah.
They're under pressure. Don't get twisted. Now the pressure had to come to a build up, and that's what happened, man. When the pressure licked, that's what happened. He fell over, flat on his face, and that's just a small thing of what's going to happen to Babylon on the whole. Yeah.
Read on.
Yeah.
Verse 2. Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 2 says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear,
Yep.
and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for.
That's why they're doing what they're doing. It's fair. It's fair. And you'd be surprised, man. They're very, very petty, as you know. All brothers that we put up these videos, brothers know how petty they are. It's like they're just pure. We're dealing with children, man.
Yeah, we are. That's exactly how the fucking Edomite is, man.
Yeah, the scriptures actually talk about that.
Now they that are younger than I have me in derision. That's Job 30. Don't need to go there.
Yeah, carry on.
Verse 3, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 3. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves,
Yep.
this was he whom we had sometimes in derision.
Yep. That man, he came up with his. I said that he had that look about him, that like,
Yeah.
looking down his nose. He might have some authority. We don't know. Oh, one of the brothers said that we'd be surprised, man. You got certain man, right, that are high up. This is what he said. One of the brothers said, right? I don't want to mention his name, but he said, you got certain man that are very high up amongst the elite, that they got them, or they may be sending certain people around just in the area, walking around. And he said that don't be surprised, they'll actually do that. Certain brothers at camps, leaving the camp, and man's following them.
That's true.
Top men.
Yeah.
So that's why keep your head on the swivel. So don't be surprised they're getting desperate, man. I don't know who that guy was, but the way my mind works is that an enemy, if I don't know you, you're an enemy. I don't care what color you are. I don't care who you are. You're an enemy until I know you, until it's confirmed that you're not. Only the brothers that I'm, I know, they're the brothers. They're my brothers.
Right, shall I carry on? Shall I read on?
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 3. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot is among with the saints?
Yeah, because you know what? When we're around here now, previous life, I'm just saying, talking in the spirit now, right? A lot of these people, what you see a lot of them were around. They've seen people being lynched, especially over in America. They've actually been. Why are you hearing about certain judgments? Don't get it twisted. Don't think for 1 minute, as we know, no one dies innocent. These are certain people that was standing there with just watching people have been lynched. Some of my family, man, potentially.
May I just add to your point? When I'm out teaching with the other elder Dawada, most times we have that sign we have a sign of Jake being lynched from the book Without Sanctuary. It's a photograph of a group of Edomites standing around while 3 Jake were lynched because they were accused of raping a so-called white woman, but it was a false allegation. And one time we were teaching, we had that sign, and we had this Edomite come up. And he goes, "That wasn't me."
See?
He said, "That was not me." And we were like, bro, you know,
shit.
He literally was saying, "That wasn't me," and he's pointing at the picture. So in his spirit, he was convicted because chances are he may have been one of them Edomites that partook in those things before. And that's why the scriptures say, the Most High requireth that which is past. Is that Ecclesiastes 7:12? Let me get it quickly, Baba Kasha.
No, another time, I don't go there often to the midweek camp, but one time I was there, I remember when the police came, because somebody reported that same sign, saying how it's offensive.
Distress to them.
Yeah, it caused distress. So you mean to say your history of what you did to us and our history of us being victimized of what you did is now offensive and causing distress to you?
Yeah.
So why the fuck did you do it then?
Exactly.
Why did you do it, man? If you don't like carrot juice, why the hell would you go shop, buy carrots and make the juice and then drink it and complain?
Can't.
You fucking made that happen, bro.
Exactly.
It's your ancestors that made it happen.
And they took the photographs of themselves.
Doing it. And then they put it on postcards and send it around. So next time you want to contact someone from, I don't know, Mississippi, around the corner, wherever you are, and they, "Oh, I haven't heard from you, I hope the family is well." When they turn over the fucking page, you got Jake's getting lynched. Photos on postcards, man. You did it, bro. Read the scripture, man.
Exactly. Get it. I'm just pulling it up. Bear me.
Yeah. Take your time.
So I'm feeling kind of today, I don't want to get on that level, man. But fuck the devil, man. Fuck Esau, man. You're a piece of shit and you're going to have to pay, bro.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes 3:15. 3:15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High God requireth that which is past.
Exactly, man.
So there you go. That is why he was convicted. That's why we're doing what we're doing. Everything is in the spirit. That what happened there when that man came up earlier on and he was looking at that. Nah, he could have had one of my, you know, I think like that. That's why I'm always, not always, but a lot of the time I'm meditating terror. What he could have done to some of my brother or my distant, you know, which all of my brothers, they're even the native Indians, they're my distant brothers anyway. Or you might even get closer to that if I am one. You know, we're talking in the spirit, but they're potentially are the ones that did what things to our forefathers, our brothers, our sisters, man.
Imagine that.
Rape.
Like they could have raped your daughter.
Yeah.
In front of you.
That's see, but we.
But that's why the scripture says. The scripture says that the Lord, he cut off the remembrance of things before.
Yeah.
Because if we knew exactly what would happen in the past, you see, reincarnations, people come back in the same eras, man. So that most likely the Edomites you deal with today, you dealt with them before in another lifetime. So if you could see, man, this is the guy that killed my mom, or you know, or raped my wife, you know, or whatever, or killed my children, you killed him, man.
Yeah.
You would actually kill him. Imagine this woman here lied.
Yeah.
And said that you did something. Now your ass is swinging from a tree.
Yeah.
But then you're in this lifetime. Hi.
Yeah.
Fucking kill you, bro.
If I may,
You killed him.
So like, if I mean, what you said is very powerful there, because like when you get a job these days in this society and you've got certain colleagues who are just off Edomites, chances are you might have been on a plantation with them in a lifetime past.
Yeah.
And they might have been fucking you over back then and they're back in their lot trying to do the same thing again now, trying to fuck you up on a modern day plantation.
Yeah. This is why we stay in the scriptures. Yahweh said, "I go to my father and your father." Because if Yahweh was on the earth right now and all power had been given to him after he rose from the grave, you think the Lord would just be a citizen? Imagine Yahweh just being a citizen in Esau's kingdom, bro.
Yeah.
He would kill them, man.
Yeah.
Because he's accomplished his bit now.
Yeah.
What's the point in waiting? Let me just save the nation and put these people in slavery.
Can't.
So we had to go back to being spiritual.
Yeah.
In an actual physical sense. He couldn't even stay on the earth no more.
Yeah.
Because he could have done his job and kicked back. Noah, he did his job, then he got drunk. Which is cool, he's in his house. He can get drunk if he wants to in his house. He's in the confines of his own apartment, his own land, his own tent. But he after the flood, I'll give it back to you. The scripture says he actually kicked back and drank, man.
Yeah.
You know? So he chilled. What if Yahushua had to stay on the earth? oh, well, I rose from the grave now. Let me just buy an apartment somewhere. And
Sit around for the next 2,000
he would have
years.
been thinking, I can't stay around here, man.
Yeah.
I gotta go. I gotta be away from here. Because if I'm still here, I'm gonna kill your ass, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my people get it, and I'm gonna fucking kill you, man.
Yeah.
Because I've got all power now. I've done what it takes to save them. So what's the point in waiting? I go to my father and your father. This is why we remain spiritual. Because if we weren't spiritual, imagine we knew who we were, and the Lord gave us the power. You think we'd be doing camp, man?
Yeah. We'll be going on the killing spree.
Yeah. We'll be up
Bro.
late at night, getting up early in the morning.
Bro.
Yeah, to hunt them down.
I've meditated on things like that. It will be, but it will be beautiful, man. Anyway, let's carry on reading.
With all the precepts
Yeah.
you got, hold
Yeah.
that one as well. You brothers break it down. Wait upon me till I rise to
yeah,
pray. Yeah.
Zephaniah.
Zephaniah 3 and 8, innit?
Yeah.
See, you talk about smiling, man. The devil, you in his jobs, he wants you to smile. Like you said, everything's going wrong. Yeah.
Like, they always show the Jake with
Yeah.
the white teeth. Yeah.
He got the suit and tie. He's about to shake someone's hand. Like, you know, bro, come on, man. We got fucking Yes, you can be, but contrary to what people believe, yes, you can be emotional. All right? You can be emotional. It's about emotional control.
Right.
And not letting that fog the image of prophetic prophecy, man, in the Bible. But everyone has emotions, man. You know, they just want you to, oh no, it's fine, smile.
Yeah.
Bro, sometimes you're angry, man. Sometimes you're tired. Yeah, how wish I got tired? He said he used to tell the 12s like, man, you guys go over there in the ship. I'll meet you later, man.
Yeah.
You need to recharge. You get angry. You get tired. You get happy sometimes. You know, even in the truth, bro. A lot of brothers, they get fucking doing dumb shit because they're just not expressing themselves, man.
Right.
You have the right to express yourself,
Yeah.
man. You know, it's just that has to be in order, and that can't fog prophecy.
Yeah.
I'm upset, so I want Yahushua to come now. Okay, well, you know you're gonna have to wait, bro.
Yeah.
But still be upset,
Yeah.
you know?
Be angry
And sin not.
Yeah. Just stand on that. Stand on truth. The first person I said this to somebody who's no longer here. The first person you have to be truthful to and honest to is yourself. In this truth, when you're dealing with brothers, brothers beneath you and above you. Now, if you're expressing yourself to a brother who has a high rank, yeah, you do that, but respectfully. You know, you do that respectfully, and as you say, you keep your emotions in check. Now, when I think about, but read that, and then we can talk about.
Yeah, you say to a guy, you know, you're right, bro. Yeah, can't. No, you're not, man.
Yeah.
Clearly something's going on, bro. Now, it's not saying you have to open up to every, you know, we have brothers we're closer to, whatever, you know, but clearly something ain't right, man. You're just getting tighter day by day in the spirit, you know. That's Esau's world, man.
Yeah.
They can give you shit in the job.
Yeah.
You know, you got, like you said, that fucking smile. yeah, I'm good, boss.
Yeah.
You know, this ain't no Edomite company shit, man. You know? Go on, read, bro.
Zephaniah chapter 3, starting at verse 8 says, Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather together the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all of my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Yeah. So you break it down. Go on.
Yeah, so that's the Most High's intention, man. All things must be done decently and in order. See, the Most High is the greatest example of patience. Because with all that's going on in the world, like even the brother said it there, Yahushua, if it were up to him, he'd have done destroyed the Edomites already. But because it's the will of the Heavenly Father, we have to be patient. So Yahushua is up there in the spiritual realm, sitting on the right-hand side of the Most High, waiting for the green light to come down and destroy these Edomites.
Yeah.
But the Most High is setting everything up in a perfect order so that Esau's sins can reach their highest apex point. Then Yahweh is going to smash them down. And it's going to be the ultimate example of, how do you say, because let's use Sodom and Gomorrah as an example, right? The Most High rained fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah and destroyed it. But today you still have people scoffing at it, saying, yeah, I don't believe in that Bible shit. But guess what? When the Most High makes an example of the Edomites and the destruction
of Babylon the Great, nobody's gonna dare say the Most High ain't real or the Most High don't exist, because it's gonna be known through the sheer terror of the Lord that you don't mess with the Most High or His people, man.
Yeah.
That's why everybody is gonna know the fear of the Lord in the kingdom of heaven, man.
Yeah, I think this precept leads, that precept what you just read, wait ye upon me till I rise up to pray. This precept, Jeremiah, if you, I'll let you read
Yeah,
it, but
can't.
Jeremiah 51, and read from 19,
Yep.
because my brothers know who know my spirit. You know, I do videos and sometimes I got to tell myself to slow down, you know, because sometimes they say people that start is because their brain is thinking ahead of their going
Out of
ahead,
their mouth,
yeah,
faster.
too fast. And when I'm when I'm speaking, it's nothing to do with being slow. It's sometimes slow. Yeah, I say what you said again. Slow is fast. So sometimes Jake is by design, he's too fast for his own good. You know, that's why certain things happen, and you enough of them are in jail now because they're thinking too fast. They're thinking too impulsively. You know, slow sometimes, especially now in this truth now. I think about immortality, but that slows me down a lot as well. And now bring out that precept and go through it, because I find this one now very therapeutic, me reading this.
Jeremiah 51 verse 19 says, "The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name."
Yeah, I remember Elder Apostle Tahar, yeah, he was saying that this is Yehoshua. Brothers sometimes say that this is, you know, this is the elect, but this is talking about Yehoshua. Yeah, and carry on.
Khan. Verse 20, "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war."
Yeah, so this is what we're waiting for now. You know, it says, "Wait upon me until I rise up to the prey, man." We can get this one after, but this is what he's talking about. "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. As mighty and powerful as Yehoshua is, and Yehoshua is, he's going to come. He's not going to meet us as a man. There's going to be other weapons he's going to be using."
Yeah.
Yeah. Read 20 and carry on again.
"Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee I will break in pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms."
Yeah, man. So he's going to use his people. Yeah, it's very fitting that the people that were under the kosh, that were mashed up by weapons. Oh, what's that guy's name? Thomas Thistlewood. I don't know.
He's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, that
bro.
guy,
He's
man.
a prick.
Who is this person?
Probably
He's got a volume,
Yeah.
like almost his diary
Yeah.
is thick, man,
Yeah.
of the hideous things. He was a slave owner.
Yeah.
The things he did to him, man. He had like a fetish for like killing Jake in a sadistic,
Yeah.
sexualized, perverse way, man.
Yeah.
I did a special with one of the brothers from Central, and they actually got into it last week again.
Yeah.
This guy, man, he would do some vile shit,
Yep.
man, and then he would document it.
Yep.
That's how we know what the fuck he did, man.
So
You gotta have
yeah.
demons. The
Yeah,
things
yeah,
in his dad, you gotta have literal demons working with you to think of that, and then have the guts and balls to go ahead through with it, and the pomp and pride to then write it down. Yeah,
Yeah.
today, I gang raped this black
Yeah.
bitch, you know. Then I whipped her till she was weak, and then I fucked her again,
Yeah.
and then I pulled her out, and bro, he did a lot of crazy crap.
But you know what? Thomas Thistlewood wasn't no one of a kind. You're Thomas. You next door to you, if you've got any Edomite people next door to you, and next door to them, they're all fucking Thomas Thistlewoods, man.
Yeah.
They all are. That's,
Doing the
that,
brave
that's my
shit.
spirit.
Yeah.
If they think they can do it and get away with it, if they're in that position, they would do it and get away with it. They would do that shit.
Yeah.
All of them.
Never trust thine enemy.
So this is what the Most High is saying. Now you got another woman, Madam Delphine Dolores in Mississippi around 1830s. She had a pub, and this is all documented. She had a pub and she used to get Jakes up in there, you know, former, you know, she had slaves, and she used to decapitate them, cut off their limbs, sew them back together for them to look like a crab. Yeah,
Yep,
man,
yep,
something,
yep,
you
yep.
know.
Yep, she did
Do
that.
things with their brains, all kinds of, while they was alive, open their heads up, do all kind of prodding with their brain while they're alive.
Like what do you call it? Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
You telling me we ain't gonna meditate? Yeah. There's movies on.
Yeah.
They put them in the movies, man. You telling me we ain't gonna be meditating terror, man?
I just had one. When I was a little boy, I went to Jamaica, and where my mum's part of the family's from, that part of the island, there's a slave plantation. I think it's called Rose Hall.
Oh yeah, I know. Rose
Yeah, the
Hall,
woman who owned it they called her the White Witch of Rose Hall, because she used to do all kinds of fucking horrendous things. Like she used to do a lot of witchcraft, voodoo and shit with the Jakes there. And I remember it's like a tourist attraction. You can go there. And as a little boy, obviously I was about 10. We went up in there, and I'm telling you, man, the vibe in that place was just so off. It was unreal. Like you could literally feel like I'm sweating and shit. Why am I sweating for? It's like that sort of how do you say, that uncomfortable tension, like just a very evil presence was still there. Even though this woman's been dead, I don't know when she died, 1800s or whatever, but you know, the after effects of the spiritual wickedness was still remaining in that area. So that's just what I had to say.
No, the blood, the scripture, Lamentation talks about for those that have spilt blood, their blood has to be spilled. Blood is in the earth. So
the land is defiled because of the blood,
land is defiled. So the land is defiled, man. That's why you got these vulgar vibes around the area. So yeah, Madame Delphine. Oh, you got another one. Oh, that Brightburn movie, man. Brightburns some of the Brightburns are back here now. I'm going to say that, you know, you might be looking at Brightburns. You're talking amongst ourselves. Brightburns back here, man. And we're going to get busy, man. You know, spiritually speaking, we're going to get busy, man. Brightburn spirit. So some of us are going to be doing things in the night time. Not doing good. And we're going to have to, we might have a certain number before we say, right, I'm going to do this before I turn in the towel tonight. There's a couple people have to get popped off, because that book, Without Sanctuary.
Yeah.
If you looked into that, a little bit of that, you know. So you got a quiz?
Yeah, this is Numbers 35 verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the lands cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Yeah. So
What's your next?
that's it. Carry on reading. We're going to read finish down. Carry on reading in Jeremiah 51.
Right. Jeremiah, I forgot where I got to. Portion of Jacob's not like them. Yeah.
Oh,
Right. So verse 21. And with thee I will break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee I will break in pieces the chariot and his rider.
So he's saying with us, man. That's us, potentially the elect. 144,000. He's saying I'm going to do my thing with them. If any man has had tools and, you know, you do your thing, you can't go to work without your tools. If you're a carpenter, you know, them tools, you get used to them tools, man. They're your right hand, you know. You're going to have your sword there. You know, you're going to have your what's that thing, the spanners. There's another thing, the monkey wrench, and you're familiar with them. Yeah, that's us. That's the Most High saying that is what he's going to have, that he's going to use with thee, because we're going to be his tools, the 144,000. That's how he feels about those 144,000 that are being raised up now. Potential Brightburns. Ready, we're rearing to go, you know, but we just looked at the precept there, man. You know, wait there upon me. Carry on.
Right. And with thee also I will break in pieces the man and woman, and with thee I will break in pieces the old and the young.
Yeah.
And with thee I will break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock.
Yeah, so we gonna be doing some nice big work. We're gonna be employed, man. You've been employed with Esau, you know, you've got to smile and all that. Smile and act like somebody that you're not. And then you come home, you might need to drink a little, you know, drink some wine and, you know, let out some steam with your girl. However you let out steam, because you know you ain't being true to yourself, you know. And people don't realize that's really damaging to you. People don't realize that. That's why the Most High has called us into the truth. Be not true to yourself, because that's why you have to find a way to what's the word, man? You need an outlet.
Yeah.
Jake needs an outlet more than anybody else. Jake needs an outlet. we've got the other precept in, but carry on reading because I might lose focus if I carry on.
If I may say, that's
Yeah.
a good point. Just briefly, I'll just say, because Jake pours himself into what they do.
Yeah.
For example, if Jake becomes a talented footballer, he pours himself into that, or a basketball star, or a singer or rapper, Jake will put everything into it. And that's them letting their frustration. But really, the ultimate outlet for Jake is this truth, being in part of this ministry.
Yeah.
Because all them other avenues aren't going to bring you inner peace. Because all them sports stars, the musicians, they always end up miserable, sad, and lonely.
Yeah.
So the only real way is this truth, man.
Yeah, I got a quick one now. Just come to me, and then we carry on reading with that one there. Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 25 says. I'm going to read 24. It says, "It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a ruling woman and with a wide and woman and in a wide house." Right. So it's better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a ruling woman, a nagging woman. Yeah. Carry on reading. 25. As cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. The truth.
Yep.
Is cold water to our frustration that we have to deal with day in and day out. It might be a woman. She has her times. You know what I mean? You want to console her, but men have their times too. You understand? And this is why we got the truth now. You know, men have their times too. We need an outlet, and we found an outlet now. Yeah, I'll read it again. As cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. This good news. I was thinking about immortality. You know, because when you have a time schedule you got to hit, that is why Jake is so. Another reason why Jake is so. Some people die of stress because you're always hitting deadline, time, looking at your fucking watch all the time. There was a survey, a man who was a boss, right, and a man. This was years ago. A man who was a boss and a man who he had his own business, and an employee, right? And they said, I wonder who would have, when we check, we let them do what they do in the day or throughout a week. It was like a test or survey, and see who's got the most. They tested them to see who's more stressed out.
Who has high blood pressure?
Yeah, the highest blood pressure. So, cut a long story short, what the boss was doing was he was just delegating to the employer, his employee, the one who he's employed. And so now what the employee was doing, he was saying, you got this meeting, you got to go. All he does, all the boss comes in and does, he says, this is the program, I want you to finish it by the end of the day. So the boss can do some, but he don't do none. Everything is delegated to the employer, employee. So now when they look at, obviously you know who's going to be more stressed out at the end of the week. Now, running a business ain't easy either. I know, because I've run a business too, right? But if you know how to run the business correctly, you learn that you delegate a lot of your responsibilities to the employer. So you're giving him most of the stress. You understand? So we know that is why a lot of Jake are stressed out. That is why some people turn to extreme Class A drugs and Class B drugs, because they're frustrated and stressed out, hitting deadlines all the time. Now, when you come into this truth now, you find that you've got something that is it's going to last, man. It's going to help you. It's for you. It's personal. It's not just general. You can make it be general, but you've got to find a way to make it more personal if you're just making it general. You understand? As cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. I'll read that again.
And what is this gospel? This gospel is the good news.
Yeah, because I remember Elder Laban, he brought this out a couple of weeks ago, and I'm glad it stayed with me. You know, that means sometimes you got like, just like when you're thirsty, you need to drink a nice glass of water, man, and chill, or wine if that's your thing, wine or whatever, beer, whatever, and chill out. It's refreshing for you, you know. So now I know what I like to do, because my outlet is what I think you brothers might know my outlet. I do my little punch bag thing, you know, and reading precepts like this. Jeremiah 51. Where was you? 23?
Let me just check that, hang on. I got to verse 23, yeah, 23 is what I got to.
Yeah.
Shall I read it?
Yeah, carry on.
Jeremiah 51 and verse 23. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee I will break in pieces the captains and rulers.
Yeah, because with that perpetual hatred that they have for us. No matter how them come off, look nice, and some of them look like them dressed up in a suit. You know, the one that talks about that. That's just to hide, you know, that respectability about them with the suit, extra, you know, that handshake thing. Which, by the way, handshake means I'll kill you later. I learned that from
I won't kill you now. I'll kill you later.
Yeah, from a particular brother. So if you're gonna telling me anything about combat, I'm probably gonna remember it. That's one thing with me. I remember a lot of things when it comes to. I'm very strategic about things. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. But in the kingdom, it's gonna be a beautiful thing, you know. So that's why they give that air of respectability about it. It's all a veneer, and that's one thing I hate. I hate fucking. Which we have to do it because we have to deal with these people. But I hate when I know I've been out all of the day and I didn't even get a chance to fucking be true to myself, man. That's why, you understand, that is why some people go mad as well.
A lot of people go mad because they're basically not being sincere in themselves.
Right.
They're trying to front.
Lying to themselves.
Yeah.
That's why some people don't stay in this truth as well. Lying, cool, not being themselves. The first person you've got to be true to, you how about Shemi or Shah, but yourself though. Because we know he looks through us, he sees right through us. We know that. We see the angels, they're watching us. We know that. Confess your sins, man. If there's a brother that you want to confess your sins to, that's all good and well. But ultimately, you confess your sins to Jehovah Hashem Yeshua. In the Christian church, what is that thing that you do? The confession thing.
That's the Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah, and some people they tell you, if you've done something wrong, come and tell me. And they're the biggest fucking gossipers in the fucking church.
If I may say, that Roman Catholic confessional thing, I believe that was set up by the Jesuits because they were using that to get information from people. Like, you know, people come in, oh Father, forgive me, I have sinned, and they say, tell me your sins, whatever. They'd be gathering information through that. So it's all a big setup.
Yeah.
But I've got a precept to back you up. There we go. Because you talk about being sincere with yourself. This is Psalms 51 verse 6. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom. So David was saying, thou desirest truth in the inward parts. Meaning you got to be sincere with yourself, man. You can't front and stunt and try and act like... I mean, you might be able to fool people, but you can't fool the Most High. The Most High knows exactly who you are and what you're about. You can't lie to the Most High. So even if you're lying to yourself, you're still deceiving yourself.
So that Psalm, you just read that, but Psalm 51, you don't have to go into it, because brothers know it, but that was David's spirit. That explains David's character. He said, creating me a pure heart, putting me a new spirit, a steadfast one. He knew he goes off. He's a man in the flesh, he went off. You know what happened with Bathsheba and all that. He knew he went off, and he was saying that to Yahweh Shah. You know, don't hold it against me, man. And it's one in Job as well. Man born of woman is full of sin and agitation. Job, you know, so we're sinful, man. But don't, you know, it is what it is, man. He was a man after, King David was a man after the Most High's own heart. So the Most High said, this is the man, man. This is the man I'm looking for. He's going to make a good king. He's not just a selfish person. He's not just about, you know, lording it over, you know, the sheep, or, you know, we've got royalty over here. Oh, they're all peasants. They're talking under their breath about ya. Look at them peasants. And you can see it in their eyes, the hatred. You know, like Prince Charles and them, man. You can see the hatred and the disdain that he's got, treating them like pets.
Even after Saul, David made sure his house ate his whole lineage, man. So even because the house of Saul represents like niggas and shit.
Yeah.
But even after Saul, David made it because he remembered his agreement. And that's one thing niggas don't have is integrity.
Right.
You can have a kafafu or whatever, but if there's a prior pact or agreement, you're always gonna honor that. Yeah. Niggas will say, "I'll fuck you then."
Yeah.
So he went to, because it's a hard name. Mephibosheth, he was a cripple because he had a nanny looking after him when he was a baby, and something happened and the nanny ran and dropped him. So from birth up, he couldn't really walk. So David went to him and said, nah, man, even despite what, you know, Saul did and all of that, believe it was his grandfather, he said, listen, man, I'm going to make sure you people eat and you people are good. And the scriptures actually say the house of Mephibosheth will eat bread continually. That's why David is a man after the Most High's own heart, because we went off. You know, we basically said, fuck you to the Most High. And basically, man, he, through the safe, through the, demons throwing me off, bro. Through Mephibosheth, basically Saul's line came back in a righteous way. The house of him will eat bread continually, and bread is what the truth, man.
Yeah. So he was a man of honor.
Man of honor, man.
Sincere, he was true. First and foremost, true to himself. He knows he's not, you know, we have shortcomings, we go off, we make mistakes. Salakia, you know, the brothers beneath me he's the lower rank, you know, beneath me.
Wow, that's
you know, so-called lower rank.
That demon came past in
Oh, he did?
Oh my God.
Past the cap, yeah?
yeah. Me and El dealt with him before.
You know,
So
so
must be getting cut in the spirit though, because it's like shit, everyone turn these
what's his name? Mephibosheth, yeah?
Basically, yeah.
He says Salakia to him, man. You know, a man, you know, a nobody, like you might say. So let's say Salakia to the brother if you've gone off, man. He's new in the truth. Say Salakia to him, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've done it. I mean, when I say I've done it, I've you know who I'm talking about. I went off with a brother one time, man. You know, because he ain't what I perceive. He's not. What's the word, man? I perceived, which I was wrong. Perceived that he's not. What's the word, man? Which was wrong because you don't know who he is and coming back. Perceived that he's not. What's the word, man? You know, lion-like, if you like. You understand? He's got a softer, calmer, more mellow spirit. But I was wrong. I went off, man. And I said Salakia to the brother, and I said, look, man, I don't want to just say Salakia by text, man. That's me. I try to be true to myself. I'll come and tell you to your face, Salakia. I went off.
Yeah, you look at that.
You know?
That situation is similar to Peter and John, man. Because John was a softer guy, man.
Yeah.
But Peter wasn't a soft guy. And one time John was he was laying his head on Yahushua's chest. You know, Yahushua was comforting him, man. And then Peter said, you know, he kind of got jealous, man. Why is John allowed to do that? And he said to him, man, it's not your business, bro. You know, every man has their own spirit, their own relationship, how they relate to the truth, man.
Yeah.
So that just to back up what you're saying, if you look at the disciples, that they represent all kind of brothers that can come into this, man.
Yeah.
You know, so-called educated, non-educated, you know, rough spirits, calmer spirits, man. You know, but the point is, it goes back to being true to yourself, man.
I've got a precept on
Yeah,
you.
go
If you're talking about King David, this goes back a bit. This is Numbers 12. Hang on, bear me, I'm just trying to find it, but I missed it. Hang on. Numbers 12 and 3. Now the man Moses was very meek above all men which were upon the face of the earth. That's the point, because King David coming back was Moses.
Yeah.
So that meek spirit was still on him when he came back.
Yeah.
Whereas King Saul, he got lifted up with pride and he transgressed the Most High's laws.
Yeah.
That's why the Most High stripped the kingship off of him and gave it unto David. That's all I want to say.
I got one to back it up because I learned. We're supposed to be learning anyway, which we are learning. We're learning. What's the word? People skills. Esau calls it people skills. But reading spirits. That's what we're learning, because it's not just about accept me as I am. No, it's not about that. Now the Most High's got you as you are because He wants you to be as you are. But let me just read this precept and let me break it down. Romans chapters 14 and 4 says, "Who art thou that judgeth another man's servant? To his own master he standeth or falleth. Yea, he shall be holden up. God is able to make him stand." You know, that same brother you might say, hey, look, he's a bit too soft, you know, and you say the man soft, you know, where I was brought up. Too soft. You know what I mean? But the Most High can make him tough just like that. He can make him, because if suppose he's giving, the Most High gives him spiritual power and he don't give you spiritual power.
He's a tough guy.
And you're looking at him like, you know what I'm saying though?
But then you've got as you've told us, you've got first-hand experience with tough guys, and then they get in the slammer, and they're the soft one. so the guy that him too soft, you're the soft nigga, bro.
See?
You know?
Some of the, and they got a reputation on road. We'd have to get into all of that.
You don't have to get into
They've
it,
got
but-
a real reputation on road. Like, man, respect them. Man, look at them because of the, as one of the brothers say, they've got the consolation on this side with a big body, big strong body. That's their consolation on this side. But enough of them are going to be crying like women. Talk about that, bawling like women.
Let's read.
You know? Yeah.
This is Isaiah 55 verse 8 and verse 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways. So luckily, let me read this again. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So as we perceive things as men, like you're saying, you might perceive this particular brother to be a bit too soft or whatever. The Most High doesn't think the way we think. So you might be raising that spirit up in a particular way, for a particular reason, for a particular purpose, for a particular time.
Yeah.
But if you're just carnal minded and you're thinking, he's not ready, he's not this, that, the other, then you're in the fault, because the Most High's ways are above our ways, man. We don't often see the Most High's grand scheme, his master plan, but yet it does exist.
But you have to, that is one thing anybody that's been into any kind of martial arts, never underestimate your
opponent. Yeah.
And we got a precept, never underestimate your opponent. And that kicked in with me. Things you've learned in the world, some of it is going to be helpful in this truth, if you know where to apply it. They call it people skills in the world. So let's carry on where we was in Jeremiah 51. We're going to read down.
Yep. Back in Jeremiah 51.
Yeah.
Verse 24. And I will render unto Babylon and unto all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahweh.
Yes, because the earth is rising up against the wicked, man, and that's one thing he doesn't take into consideration. We looked at it in Wisdom of Solomon 5. You know, the man that they're looking down on, the man that they're saying, who is this that we considered him to be nothing? Drug dealers. Anytime you see Jake, rappers, big nasty. All he's good for is shaking up his nasty self and putting on big fat, big nasty. There's an advert about him all over that's the stereotype they're putting out about. That affects me. No, it don't affect me, but I'm saying the way that they affects the way that they look at you.
Yeah.
That is why when they come up here and they do that and they say, what the fuck is this? Wow. They're shitting themselves. Yeah. Good. That's good. That's the power of this truth, man. And what you said rings true. Don't underestimate the power of this truth.
Yeah. Shall I read on?
Yeah.
Verse 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth.
Yep.
And I'll stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain.
Yeah, because the Most High is saying he's against thee. And now when I watch, because there's a scripture in either Job 12 and 7, or Job 12 and 7 and 12, either watch the animals and they shall teach thee. Now the scripture says there, behold, I'm against thee, the destroying mountain. Now the earth is now, the worm is turning against these people now, even the animals. You know, when it says watch the animals. I done a video of the whales now just coming out of nowhere, whales, killer whales, they're known for their high level of intelligence. And just mashing up the boats over there in Spain, And I love when that happens. I love
when animals attack.
Yeah, and they succeed too. Mash up the boat, mash up the underneath of the boat. The whole boat was leaking, and it's like they form as a posse and they communicate and they're coming together as a posse and just attacking E. And also over there, you've got those animal resorts where he goes and he's just so arrogant with his arrogant self, going up and just trying to hug. I wouldn't even do it, right? And Jake, they say Jake is we're more in sync with the earth.
Oh, he goes up and hugs the animals.
Going
that
up
are dangerous and shit.
Them big bison, they look like buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo just turn into boom, lick the bitch down, man, lick her down. I love when I see that.
So like, that reminds you of that guy years ago. They used to call him the crocodile, and that's Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
And he always used to go and like mess with the animals and
crocodiles
shit.
and stuff. Yeah.
But then the Most I put the spirit on the
stingray
to sting him in his chest.
Yeah.
And it was lights out for him, man.
I think if I heard correctly, the stingray took him down right to the bottom and stung him, so he couldn't make it up in time to get to
medical
breathe,
attention.
make it to the surface in time to breathe. So that was like the stingray was strategic about that shit. The most I put the spirit on the stingray, man. And I've had visions about all forms of animals coming out. Let's say there's a little lake around here, right? You got lakes everywhere, you got the sea. All animals coming out of everywhere they can, coming out, and they wasn't messing with Jake. They was only running after the Edomites.
There's a precept for that, if I may. This is Job 5, verse 22 and 23. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace.
Yeah, because they're talking about in league with the beasts and the stones. Now that's because we're at one. Even the 2/3. A lot of the time, people are getting messed up over there in America, and a lot of them places there where there's only wildlife. They ain't messing with the 2/3 even. They're messing with those
Edomites.
You know, these good, polite. What they call them? What they call them? Polite Edomites. There's a word
Middle
for them.
class?
Yeah,
Middle
middle class. Anyway, you know, they're the ones that are attacking, man. And this guy, he saw a bison, a baby bison. He was going through trying to get from one side of crossing over a lake, and it's one of them resorts, them animal resorts. And he went over and he touched the little baby bison, and he helped it across so it didn't drown. You know what happened to what the bisons did with that baby bison? They black marketed it. They cut it off. They didn't want nothing to do with it. It died. It ended up dying. So he ain't supposed to go nowhere near the animals. They know that in their spirit. They know that animals are it's defiled now. You understand? They know when you touch them fucking people there, they defile you. My little baby, the mother abandoned the little baby, ended up dying. He got a fine and it's actually scriptural too. You know, that's what you just read. Carry on reading, Baba Bashar.
Right, back in what I just said before, Job.
Yeah, finish. I didn't let you finish.
Job 5, 24. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shall not sin. That's the end of that.
Yeah, read it again. Read that same one again.
Job 5, 22. Let me start from 21. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee.
Yeah. So we're going to be in league with the beasts of the field, which even to a certain extent now, the bees, none of the animals, we don't do nothing to go out of our way to harm no animals, man. They're fucking up what's that called? The cycle of the bee, because there's a cycle a code that it goes by. Yeah. All it needs to do is pollinate the flowers, mess with the flowers, pollinate the flowers, and it naturally produces honey. What they've got them in them little beehives, they're artificial beehives, and having them supposed to be kept. They're feeding them sugar, right? So therefore, when they produce the honey is now more like a syrupy. It's not natural. It's not pure natural honey. That is good for you when you eat. Scripture talk about eating honey, innit? Yeah. And when David ate honey, he automatically was revived. You're supposed to feel a sense of. It's almost like you took some like a stimulant. Honey is just like almost a natural stimulant, an antibiotic. Very good for you. If you're sick with any kind of flu or anything like that, if you had the real good honey, you yam that honey there, manuka, it's like within a day you'd be feeling good. You'd be feeling energized. Even if you still got a blocked up nose, that fever gone, left you. I know. Yeah. So if you get the good thing, which is getting more expensive now, most Jake can't afford it. You know, but that's them messing with the natural cycle of the animals. And
Esau's intelligent because he doesn't want the people to be healed from their sicknesses. That's probably why he's fucking up the bees, because if they're not producing that good quality honey, people can't get access to that. How do you call it? That natural remedy.
Medicinal.
So they have to rely more on Esau's pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, the real what they call it?
Real medicine.
Yeah, the real medicine. That's it. The real medicine. Holistic they call it. Yeah, because it's whole. You know, I got another precept. Let me just check to see if it's the right one. Job and I'll let you read it, yeah?
Go on.
Job chapters. Job chapters 20 and 26 and then 27.
Job 20, 26 to 27, okay.
Yeah.
This is the book of Job chapter 20, verse 26. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him, and it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle.
Yeah, that reminds me of Lamentations 4. No, it might be Lamentations where they try to run from a lion and a bear met them, similar to that. So things ain't going well for them right now, and more on a more of a level than what we know. The more you dig deep, you realize how these people are getting messed up. You know, that's the prophecies what we spoke about in Lamentations earlier on.
Yeah.
You know, the more you be a watchman, the more you don't get frustrated. The more of a keen eye you have as a watchman, the less you're worried about what's going on. You know, like it's taking long. Time is taking too long. The more you have a keen eye and watch what's going on, the prophecies being unfulfilled. I'm just saying it in my own words, but brothers say it all the time, you know, in their own words. The more keen you are, the more of a watchman you are, the more you see what's going on, the more you see the prophecies being fulfilled, man. And the more,
it's like, no, you didn't mean to cut you, going.
And then the more you're just saying, yeah, your faith grows.
Well, that's just what I was going to say, because if you're a spiritual man and you see prophecies taking place, that's going to boost your faith. If you've got no faith and you see prophecies taking place, you're going to be like, no, this is taking too long, man. So really, it's all about the patience.
Yeah.
You know, in your patience possessing your souls.
Yeah. And yeah, this truth, just to add to what you're saying, if you're fast, what's the word? You know, we all are anyway, in our own way. If you like things done yesterday, this truth gives you that subtlety where you can learn to see that the Most High's timing is always the best timing, man. It's always on time. You know, it's even more on time than you. You can do it quicker, but if you said it. The best thing I heard for about 2 weeks ago was when you said slow is fast. That's why when you go into nature, you realize that it doesn't matter when you're in nature. Time don't matter to you. If you can do it, most of us can't because we're all locked up in this fucking system. We're on the grid. You understand? So we have to be aware of time. But the more you unaware of time and you're not in that grid, the more time is better. Time is even faster, man.
If I may add to what you're saying, that's why Esau's wicked, man. Because from the minute you're born, he's trying to put you into these fucking places where, oh, you got to do this on time, you got to do that on time. Like for example, going to school, oh, you got to be at 10 to 9 in the morning. Oh, at this time we're going to have a recess break. At this time we're going to have assembly. At this time we're going to do this. We're going to do that. It's basically conditioning you to live a very fast-paced sort of
mechanical kind of like the way that's them.
Yeah,
they're very mechanical. Yeah,
that's why if you go to play, like I mentioned Jamaica earlier, if you go over there, man, everything's so much more laid back. People are chill. Things do get, or even over in Madrid, man, going to Spain, like things that just. Things get done. It's like people aren't lazy.
They have a siesta, don't they?
Yeah, but they do it at a reasonable pace. But let me say this, right? I remember when I was staying in Madrid some time ago, they were digging up the road one day. I came out of my little hostel and I saw that they were digging up the pavement. And they were digging a deep, deep hole, right? And I walked past it in the morning. I came back that same day about 4 in the afternoon. Everything was finished, paved back over. You wouldn't even know that they dug a hole here. Whereas in this country, right? You'll see them dig a hole and it'll be like that for fucking 2 weeks and nobody's doing anything. So it's like, even though things are more intense and fast-paced in London, it's not really that productive.
Can't.
Anyway, I don't want to...
No, well said, man. Well said. Yeah, even though it's
about the stress.
Yeah, the deadlines and hitting that timing is still unproductive.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said.
This is the thing. Esau pressures people to the point of breakdown. Like stressing you to the point where, oh shit, if I don't pay my mortgage on time, if I don't pay my rent on time, it's gonna come in and it's gonna take this, it's gonna take that. Everybody's so fucking uptight and stressed there, man.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to admit it. Everybody's got that fake smile. Yeah, how you doing, mate? Yeah, lovely day, innit? Yeah. But it's all fake, man.
And that's why you get a woman. I mean, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna stay on the subject. A lot of them they ain't right in the head, man. They're just not right in the head. Not necessarily they're on medication or anything like that. They're just not right in the head because they're locked in with the system too. The system has got them. They're drinking the juice of the system. So it's all about, oh, they're worried about this and all this. They're not natural, man. They become, carry on reading what you're reading. Job chapters 20 and 27, Brother.
Yeah, 20:27 says, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him.
Yeah. So that's why we're here. With the earth is vexed with them. The animals are, it's literally vexed with them. That is how that is where the prophecies are under the radar, that you might not think that it's happening, man. On a high level. On a high level, the more of a watchman you are, the more you have a keen eye. I know brothers have got that keen eye and that spiritual. I watch certain brothers' videos, I say, that brother, he's got a keen eye. Some of our brothers in the central, brother got a keen eye, man. I know, I can see it, man. These are broad-minded brothers, and there's some broad-minded, they know what, it's like, with that peripheral vision, where hardly anything escapes them. But we're all in the flesh, but, with the more of a keen eye you got, the more you realize the Most High is doing what he's doing his thing, man. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Hence the judgment we looked at. And as you said, those Pakistani people, some Jacob
died on the train.
That died on the train. Just some Jacob in there, that would be niggers. If they're not the elect, they'll be niggers anyway. The Most High judged them, man. 300. They say last I heard was 300 of them. And not them wicked too. They look down on us too.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. I'm gonna have some. I'll have some concubines, in the kingdom. But they look down on us big time, man. They don't respect us. I go to get there's certain places I go to. Depends on where I am to get my little keys done and post office and shit. And I see certain people. They ain't in the queue, and they show that they want to serve them first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and if you don't be a little bit, kind of put yourself out a bit, they just do it on purpose, man. Oh, the English people, the white people, you serve them.
Might I give a brief testimony?
Yeah.
A lot of these Elamite girls, don't get it twisted, man. Their families are just as racist as the so-called white man. Because I remember when I was at university, I got into a situation where you're living in the student housing or whatever, and I ended up living in a house with 4 other girls, and I was the only guy in there. And they were like, we can't tell our parents because if they knew we were sharing a house with a black man, they would never let us. And the funniest thing is that a lot of them, you might think that, like they'll call you black, right? But don't get it twisted, their skin can be just as dark or even darker than yours. But they'll put a hell of a lot of makeup on to try and make their skin look lighter. And they'll still be looking at you like you're a fucking nigger, man. So, that's just what I had to say on that.
Yeah. All right, so let's just finish off. I think, did we finish? Let's read 24 and 25 of Jeremiah 51 again. And then after we go to Ezekiel.
Jeremiah,
Ready.
so like you said, Jeremiah 20?
Jeremiah 51, yeah, and 24.
Right. Jeremiah
Carry
51 and 24 says, and I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of
The
Chaldea.
Chaldeans. So yeah, stop there, man. Don't say, he's got them. He knows what that appointed time we looked at in Habakkuk. It has an appointed time. He's going to render unto Babylon. It's just like if your youth was wicked, right, and you heard that it was wicked, your youth, right, even if it's your youth, you have to punish that youth there. You heard that he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing, and you say, right, we're going to punish you, right? But you're doing something at the moment, you're attending to something, but you know that you have to punish that. You have to teach him a lesson, otherwise you think that he can just, do what he wants and just carry on, the way he wants in your house, under your roof. There's a set time.
There's a scripture which says, who is he that the Most High chasteneth not? He's not a bastard and not a son.
Yeah.
So if you don't chasten your son with the rod of correction, then basically he's like a bastard, man.
Yeah. So that I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of the Chaldeans. So none of them now escape. There ain't gonna be some of them gonna get away, You know what I mean? Like none of that, man. The Chaldeans, which are the witches and the warlocks. And where I live, the Most I had it that where I live, there's hardly no Jakes around here, man. you know, if there are, some of them are, you know, kind of up. You know, there's not much jakes I don't see around here. And say you got where I live, and then you got just up the road a certain area, right? Just like over, you know, like in America, you got certain places where it's ghetto, and then you got like not too far,
the gentrified
yeah,
areas.
the suburbs. It's like I just go up the road. It's like pure Edomites, middle class Edomites. You know, and they're so used to seeing me. You know what I mean?
You're the token Negro in there.
But the most I made, he put me there. He put me there because when that time come.
Oh, you're gonna run amok.
When that time come, man, I'm in the right spot, man. You know, you ever see a hornet going to a bee's nest? I'm right up in there, man. I'm right up in there. Let off some steam on them bomber cloud there. 25.
Right. Verse 25 says, 20 and 25, right?
Yeah. Jeremiah 51.
I'm in Job, sorry, one more.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 51:25 says, Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yahweh, which destroyest all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain.
So yeah, he ain't mentioning his words there. See, we ain't really seen the fear of the Lord, but we've had little appetizers, you know. We have had little appetizers, those little judgments, 300, and that's a lot for Elam. That's a lot, you know.
It is.
That's a lot, isn't it? I don't know. You hear little judgments, 80, 75 killed in around about 75. I think it was a year around 2020 sometime. Plane crash, not plane crash, train crash. And 75 and 150, but that's a lot for him to jack up the other nations like that in one swoop.
Yeah.
So we finished there. But you know what? He's going to leave something. You know, there's going to be a lot. Have you noticed that? It's like when you're walking, it's like there's no people everywhere. I feel almost claustrophobic. Maybe it's worse than where I live, but it's like everywhere. I walk. If I stop to get something out my bag, people walking. I don't like. I think it's too much, man. Mosai, he's the one that's built up the population. He's built up the population so that when he brings his judgment, those fiery furnaces, those fiery intercontinental ballistic missiles, everybody, all those wicked spirits, all of the nation's wicked spirits, he's going to make sure he hits them one hit. They say 2 birds with 1 stone. A whole heap of wicked people with those missiles go and get it. Other rutters are we get pulled up in, and we're going to be able to watch, man. We're going to be able to watch and look down as entertainment, clear as, and we're going to remember brothers say we're going to be able to look in underneath the chariots,
the sea of glass.
See the sea glass. But we remember we're going to have new eyes, you know.
Yeah, spiritual
as
powers,
well.
yeah.
You know, like if you saw the $6 million man and shit.
I remember that.
Remember that? And he had that one bionic car, but he can zoom in on that shit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be able to do all that. You know, I'm just talking in the spirit, but even what I'm saying is probably gonna be even better than that.
You know,
because we're gonna have new eyes, new everything. Our ears are gonna hear everything.
Yeah.
Be able to zoom in and raw. I've had little dreams about that. Some dreams I don't always say all the things.
Yeah.
I had a little funny little something the other day, but I was hench, and I went out late night and I was doing my thing, right? Late night, and I was doing my late night jog, but the atmosphere was blessed because I knew that I had immortality, and I just knew that I had all the time in the world. I wasn't even paying them no mind. I knew that I'm gonna get that place there. I'm gonna hit that soon. When I'm ready, I'm gonna hit that place. I was patient, man, but I because I knew I had immortality on my side.
There's that scripture where it says he gave them power over unclean spirits.
okay.
Yeah.
All that. You got, because you see your area, right? You know why they were close to you, because them Edomites there, they feel safe. Like you said, not too far as the upper class. I got family out there as well. Edomites, they like being in groups. They feel safer when they're around each other.
They call it white migration.
White migration. You know, to them, you're that lucky nigga that got up into the community. But as you said, when the time comes, it's a different story. You got that?
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 10 verse 1. And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power over unclean spirits, and to cast them out, and to heal all manner of sickness and disease.
Yeah, because brothers, speaking up there thinking, man, you got a lot of unclean spirits. Like, that's why they operate the way they do, because they're actually possessed by unclean spirits, man. People, Jake. Like, you can have a Jake in the world that's normal, but they're possessed, man.
Right.
Everyone's possessed, bro. Even us.
Yeah. That's true.
Everything's a possession, but then you got righteous possession, you got demonic possession. You can have the calmest, the most calm,
Yeah.
collected,
Yeah. Jeffrey Dahmer was very calm.
dignified
Yeah.
person, but they're possessed to do weird things.
Yeah.
Just thinking about Philip Schofield.
Yeah.
He been in the news.
Oh yeah.
He looks calm. Good morning, Britain.
Yeah.
And I think that shit is real. I mean, I know they're actors and shit, but a lot of them do fucked up shit. See, Edomites, they got a perverse spirit. Like, Jake could be wicked, yeah, but even in wickedness, he's like, there's some level of, like, that's just not in a Jake spirit to do, man.
Yeah.
But Esau, I mean, you have the odd cases, but Esau, he does things that's way out there, man. He'll come on TV every morning, good morning, Britain,
Yeah.
But then behind the, you're getting caught, man. But again, it's the spirits that's on people. That's why I'm reading this, bro. He gave them power over unclean spirits. So when we operate in the world with, you talking about Thomas Thistlewood, he mentioned some other people. We're alright being around them, man. We may not enjoy it, but Abarat Azar, we stay in this. We're actually protected being around the people in the world, man. Read that again, bro.
Yeah, can't. This is Matthew 10 and verse 1 again. And it says, and when he had called unto him his...
By the way, elders are coming to these. Is that the elders?
Oh, cool.
Who's that?
Elders are back.
Oh, cool.
The elders, essentially.
Oh, okay, cool.
Go on.
Once again, Matthew 10 and 1. And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and disease.
Yeah, so the unclean spirits, what does that start with? That starts with philosophies, man. We're not even talking about physical ailments here, or demons. We're talking about, which is demons anyway, but we're talking about people's mindsets, man. Yahweh gave them power to cast out unclean spirits, man. That's why you talk to people in the world. I don't really talk to people. I hate talking to people. There's like a few people I have to talk to. I don't have to, but I keep them in the loop or wherever. But you talk to people, yeah, in the world, and they're so demonic. Anything that you tell them, I know that. No, you don't. You don't know. Because if you knew it, you wouldn't be acting like you just heard this information. Nah, but yeah, I know that already. Yeah, the Bible and Jesus was black. Yeah.
Oh, they got that pride spirit on
Yeah,
them.
I know that. No, you don't, bro. No, you don't. 1 minute they're talking about what they're fucking doing in the world and making it. But you tell them that it's all a simulation. No, but I know that. But you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be so invested in a simulation. Alright? So, first of all, he gave them power to cast out unclean spirits. Because the unclean spirits were cast out of them. This is what happens to us when we come in the truth. Because we was in the world, doing whatever we was doing. Yeah. Brothers are into all kind of things, man. You got the canvas, now I'm gonna make it. I'm an artist. Businessmen, martial artists, whatever you did, corporate world, that's all unclean spirits, man. Bro, that's why the scripture says using the world, not abusing the world. When you go to your job, you're partaking in an unclean organization. That's an unclean spirit. You actually got to partake to a certain degree with this world, man. That's why he was talking about it. Be yourself and be real to yourself. But a lot of the time we get frustrated because we can't be the real us. You can't be the real you in the shop, man. You can't be the real you at your job.
Yeah, you have to.
You be the real you, and they'll put you in prison, man. Okay?
It's lucky, even at school.
Straight out.
Sit down, be
Yeah.
quiet, sit
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
When you want to get up and run around and be active,
Yeah.
and then you do, they say, oh, you so-called black boys are so aggressive.
How the fuck can you have a 13-year-old, right, in the prime of his adolescence here? and he's there at 8:30 a.m. and he has to sit down in form time in a fucking suit, man.
Yeah.
It's a uniform's a suit.
and tie, yeah.
They put you in a suit at age 13. You gotta sit there and just go through 6 periods a day of getting indoctrinated, man. And then you gotta walk in a robotic fashion.
Or always walk on the right side of the corridor.
Yeah, and then you can't be quiet. You can't talk, you've gotta be quiet, you know? Bro, I remember one time they had a no phone policy, right? In school. And there was my school was massive, man. To this day, there's the main entrance, you got the big entrance at the back by some park. I came through the back entrance and they had the no phone policy. You had to actually turn off the phone. So I was complying with the rules, man. And then this German bitch, she was at the gate at the back. And I literally took the phone out of my pocket, and as I was turning it off, she grabbed it out of my hand.
Confiscated.
She confiscated. You came to school with your phone on and you're texting. I said, no, I was turning it off. I even showed the bitch, look, the screen's off, man. She took the phone, and then they keep the phone for a week, man.
Fuck's sake, man.
You know, and that was a bit crazy, man. I told her some words, man, that upset her, you know. And then they called my mum into the school. They excluded me. Yeah, then I had to go to the sister school in this part of London here. And I'm from the other end, so it was fucking hard getting here every morning for like a week, right? And then they had an integration meeting with my mum, right? And then so my mum said, bring the woman in, you know, bring the teacher, let's hear. So then mum asked, was he turning off the phone? Oh yeah, he was. So I got excluded. All right, you made my life difficult for a whole week just because she admitted she had a bad morning. So you send your fucking children to school to get told by Edomites and other Jake that are part of the system, be quiet,
Yep.
turn your phone off. You know, that's education though.
Yeah.
Are you serious, man? Are you fucking serious? The main place unclean spirits come from is school, man.
That's right.
Okay? The fucking school system is where the unclean spirits get harbored, man.
Sluck it, man. That's what you're
bro.
saying. When I walk past my old school at night time, I'm telling you, man, you can feel the spirits in that
Feel the
place, man.
spirits in that place.
Fucking evil aura around that place.
You know?
So
It is
children go to school and they get possessed, man.
bullshit, man. You know, and then you got to do the GCSEs, you got to write the answers how they want it. You can say the same thing in your own words, but nah, it's got to be this way.
Yeah.
Point 1, point 2, point 3, and then they push you down some course, and then you're a slave, man. You come out of the system, you go uni maybe, you come out of that system, then you're a slave, man.
Can't.
Now your ass is 22, 23 years old, and you're just ready to just do what Esau tells you, man. School puts unclean spirits on children, man. All right, you think there was fucking 6 periods a day in the ancient world?
And it has to be 6, doesn't
It
it?
had to be 6. Well, why is it 6 periods, man? You know,
Precept?
in the ancient world, you was under your dad, man. Now he could have sent you to the House of Scrolls. You learn the Torah and the prophets, okay? And then you learn a trade under your dad, man. Also, primary subjects like maths was taught, man, and Hebrew, okay? So every Israelite male child would understand the basics of mathematics, his language, all right, Hebrew, and the scriptures, man, the Torah.
That's what you need.
That's what you need, bro. When you go to school talking about Margaret Thatcher and the Weimar Republic, I gotta learn about fucking Germans
Yeah.
with their hyperinflation, using their fucking Federal Reserve notes for fire to fuel the fire because of a war. And then I get an A star in history now. And I
You
come
can't say
out,
nothing about
I come out of
Exodus.
school. I come out of school. Yeah, I got GCSEs. Yeah, no, you can only work in McDonald's, you know. You're trying to tell me that school don't put spirits on people?
Just a quick one. You were talking about history there.
History
They
lesson.
teach you history, but they don't teach you the scriptures. So what history are you really learning? You're basically learning, what do they call it? Is it colonialist? Or
Yeah.
You're learning basically to love your oppressor. You're not learning about your people. Because when it comes to topic like slavery, all they showed us was a picture of one slave ship where the slaves were like, you know, the diagram they're lying there.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
That was Black History Month done. Nobody was talking about anything beyond that. So you're not really learning your history, you're learning
history so that you can better serve your master.
Yeah,
Got a
you,
quick
you,
precept.
you're in school. Hold that. You're in school. History class. I actually almost got into a physical altercation with the history teacher, man. Because I wasn't having it, man. I was not having it, bro. He was talking to me. He was just, and he was kind of some big burly Edomite dude, and we were cool, man. We were actually cool because we supported the same football team, man. But as soon as that conversation came up about, I was like, I wasn't having it, bro. So you're trying to tell me my people's history goes as far as the slave ships? What before then? You know, where does the term black? Excuse me. You know, them Edomites.
So like when the teachers at school talk, they always say first. It's like an old school computer loading
Yeah.
before it says anything.
Excuse me. Who do you think are you teaching or I'm, you know? And the class was getting riled up and shit. You know, he came in my face, you know, all kind of crap, man. You know, I ain't give a fuck about school, man. You know, and it pisses them off when you get good grades because you're a menace, but then you still do so well by their standards.
I got that as well.
And then you tell them, fuck you. I had the head of my sixth. We're gonna read the scriptures. The head of my sixth form. He hated my guts, man. A racist piece of shit, man. You know, I came out with decent A levels, man, and then he looked pissed, man. I waved the paper in his face. I said, look, see, you thought you had me, you predicted me as getting D's and E's, man.
Wow.
You know, I came out with a couple of A's and B's. I waved the paper in his ear. Oh, well done. Well, I said, fuck you, man.
To say that.
I told him, fuck you, and I walked out, bro. I never went, man. Fuck the school system, man. Because, you see, I mean, we was a bit younger then and a bit more silly with it. But this truth don't allow you to play games with the devil, man. You can't be a part of this, yeah, like you was talking about the smile thing. You're just smiling along. You can't smile when you know this, bro.
Exactly.
Go on, man, read.
This is Proverbs 22 and verse 6. Train up a
Fucking
child
smiling
in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Yeah, so a child, which really, the word there should be a lad. Yeah, you see English, they call a cockney. Yeah, he's a young lad. That's actually Hebrew. Lad means boy. Okay. So you're meant to train up a lad, a young boy, under the age of 12 in the way he should go. All right. The first thing you teach your child, your male, and it's really for the sons, man. The first thing you teach your son is the oneness of the Most High.
Oh,
The Shemai.
Shema, yeah.
Shemai, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Elohayna, or Yahweh Echad. Okay, here, O Israel, you're an Israelite. The Lord your God, Yahweh, He's one. That's the first thing you teach your son. Alright? And really, a son would come under his father from about the age of 5. From before then, you know, you're still under your mom, you know, you're a bit soft and shit, and all of that. But then, we're talking about the ancient world, not now, but in the ancient world, when you got to about age 5, man, about 3, 4, 5, your dad will start showing certain things, man.
Yeah, I got a picture.
If I can, so like I didn't mean to cut you, but I've got the Shema in English.
Oh, you got it in English?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, go for it. Yeah,
This is Deuteronomy
Here you go.
chapter 6, starting at about verse 4. We just said it in the Hebrew, but this is in English. The Shema, it says, Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our God is one God. And thou shalt serve Yahweh thy God with all thine heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
See, that straight away, in the ancient world, it wards off demons, man. Because we read it, he gave them power to cast off demons, man. You go to what you want to be, and it's anyway, it's a selection of slavery jobs that you can go down anyway. But they pose it as if it's you do what you want to do. You get an education,
You could do anything.
and the sky's the limit. You know, what kind of bullshit, man? It's all about you. You know, that do as thou wilt spirit, which is really doing as Satan wants spirit.
Can't.
You know, when the first thing you learn is that the Lord your power, the Lord is one, and you are to serve Him. Okay, so from a boy is the age of 3, 4, 5. All right, he's getting that in his head, man. I'm here for a reason. Okay, I'm here for a reason, and my number one person to be like in life is my dad, because he got a sound education from his father.
Yeah.
So subconsciously, the boy wants to be like his father, man. So if your dad's straight, you're gonna grow up to be straight. That's why it said train up a child in the way it should go. You got that? One more.
Yeah,
Bishop.
no,
You
go
go, finish
Just
that.
one more.
Yeah, go on.
Verse 7 it says, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children,
Yeah, diligently.
and
man.
thou shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
So when you're in the house, you're meant to be talking about it. Now, obviously, there's other things you talk about, but a key thing that's always spoken of is being God conscious, for lack of a better term, man. That's a key topic in a household, man. To be conscious of the Most High. They showed you that in the Ten Commandments, man. That's why the small hats do it to this day when they keep their Passovers in their house. Because my woman actually, which she told me the other day, when she was a kid, she had a JOO ISH friend, and she actually got invited to the house to keep the Passover with them, their way. And I started looking at her sideways from that, man. What the fuck you doing as a kid in one of their houses, man?
She might have been a sacrifice herself.
You know, I'm
sure,
like,
careful.
you're lucky your ass came out, bitch. You know? But she, you know, and there's a part, and I already knew this, but there's a part in their Passover service where, this all corny bullshit, where they'll hide like a little toy somewhere in the house, and then the child has to ask, oh, grandfather, why did our people have to do this? And he would send them out to find this hidden toy, and then they bring it back to the dinner table and get a prize. Now that's not it's not a part of the Passover, bro. But that's what them small hats do, man. You know? There's a reason I even mentioned that bullshit in the first place, man.
Teaching things in the
Can't, yeah,
spirit,
Kawada. So yeah, that's what they do, man. But then in the Ten Commandments, Kawada, bro, you had the child, and I think the child asked Moses or Aaron, he said, why can't we go outside? And he said, this day the Lord your God killeth the firstborn of the Egyptians. Today and tomorrow we go for free. You know, that's where them JOO people got it from. So they actually have a child in their Pesach asking questions and running around looking for toys. they missed the plot. But that's the point. They showed you in that movie, being conscious of the Most High is pivotal, man. Now you go to school and it's you don't have to be a boy.
You can be whatever you want to
You
be.
know, you can be a boy and a girl.
If Timmy wants to wear a dress and be non-binary, it's fine.
Or if Timmy wants to identify as a cat, he can be a cat. You know? How about I identify
As an Israelite.
As an Israelite? How about that? What's so wrong about that? You see, and them small hats again. They knew it. Oh yeah, well the 10 tribes and you know the people are gonna realize one of them black. So right, them egghead bastards. You know, the yarmulke can't even fit on their fucking head because their head's so big. But then they're the 10 tribes. You know, and they be shipping Torahs over to fucking Ethiopia. You know, and they in some shack somewhere. I watch videos of that on YouTube, man. You go on my YouTube history, it's wild, bro. I watch some weird ass shit, man. You got them shipping Torahs from Israel over there, some dusty ass Cushite holding it. Yeah, oh yeah, the Jaws.
Oh, and they try to claim that they got the Ark
They're
as
the
well.
Ark of the Covenant. Then they got the Ethiopic Bible, and then you got Jake getting up into that, which is crazy, man. But then if we were to identify as these, no,
you can't be that.
No, you're not. You're just black, and you go as far as the slave ships. Read that in Deuteronomy one more time. Why is it that we only get 1 month of the whole year for you to remind us that you put us on ships?
Oh, was that
Black History Month.
Yeah.
But then that's as far as our history goes.
Bullshit.
And you shall teach them to your children.
Right, so this is Deuteronomy 6 verse 7 again. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
Yeah, diligently ain't once a year.
Exactly.
If you had a guy that, you know, I'm an Israelite, can I join the camp? Oh yeah. You know, he goes out once a year. He does a video once a year. Tell that guy where to fuck off, man. You ain't diligent, bro. You can't talk about something once a year and that's enough.
Exactly.
And then that's all you're telling them is yeah, you was on slave ships. We gave you a chance at the new world.
And emancipation. Yeah.
And that's bullshit. They make it seem like in school, I remember that. They make it seem like emancipation is freedom. No, we get into etymology, bro. to emancipate means a transfer of ownership.
That's right.
So if I was directly your slave on a cotton field, you could whip my ass, fuck my woman, kill me if you want. Now you've given me a bit more rights because I put on a suit.
Yeah.
That's the fucking school uniform.
Yep.
Oh, the slave goes from wearing raggedy clothes to a suit jacket and trousers and tie and pants, and now he's free. But then you gotta sit your ass at the back of the bus.
Yep.
All you get is 40 acres and 2 mules.
And you didn't even get that.
You didn't get, well, go on, bro.
And if I may, the only reason that really happened is because the further industry.
Yeah.
Because Esau wanted to build the industrial revolution came about, and he wanted workers to work in it. That's why the education system was created, to give people certain skills so they could just do these jobs to build up Esau's industry.
Yeah.
That guy got hurt.
You got hurt. Yeah. You know, crazy shit. Finish on that, bro, and then.
Alright, yeah, it says, you shall teach them diligently unto thy children, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
That's constantly, man. So, you know, we should all, you know, you miss it sometimes. We're in the flesh, but for the best of our ability, man. You know, you go to bed, the last thing should be the name of the Lord, man.
That's right.
You know,
Lord's Prayer, man.
Lord's Prayer. You can pray the Lord's Prayer. You can pray some of the Psalms. You can say your own prayer. You know, Barakathay Abba Hashem Shai, you wake up. You know,
First thing.
you know, Barakathay Abba Hashem Shai, you open my eyes. You know, God consciousness, man. See, the scripture says, "I boast not but in the Lord." So we can boast in Yahweh Hashem Shai that we're conscious of our power, man. We're coming to the truth. We're conscious of the Most High, man. We don't just do things walking around like there's no consequence, man. That's why when the Passover comes around, like I would say up to a month and a half before that, brothers start getting scared, man.
It gets spooky.
You get spooky. Things start happening. You start walking down the stairs more carefully because the Most High might make you miss a step and bust your ass, man.
Yeah.
And that's you done. The death angels around, bro. You know. We're conscious of the Most High, man, and His Son. People, yeah, I'm booking Cyprus for next month. You know, in the workplace they urge you to do that. Have you got any holidays booked?
You need to
They're
use them up
talking
before April.
about next year holidays you want to book for Cyprus with the family, and your ass is still in 2022 or 2023. You're talking about 2025. Are you crazy, man? Read that, bro.
Yeah. So this is an
And we could go back to the one with he gave them power to cast off demons.
this backs up Deuteronomy what we just read.
Yeah.
Sirach 30 and 3 says, "He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friend he shall rejoice of him."
Yeah. Read that again.
Ah,
Read that
slowly,
Again.
yeah.
Baba Kushab, yeah.
Sirach 30 and 3 says, "He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy."
That's why you're at school for 6 hours a day. They want
Again, 6.
They go 6 again because your parents, they're already gone through the system. They got a slave away. No, they need an education. Yeah, you know. So as soon as you wake up, it's a rat race. You brothers were talking about it earlier. Everything's a rush. You wake up, you gotta violently get your ass in the shower.
You could barely even wash your face.
Barely wash your face properly, man. You know. You get into the ancient world, even the whole idea of bathing, people ain't even clean out here, man. You ain't even clean out here, bro. You just stand in the shower for like 2 seconds. 8:30. The bus is coming at 9:45. I missed the train. Let me get the second one.
Yeah.
You get to work. Hi, boss.
Yeah.
And then you go the smile. Dumbass
Yeah.
smile. Just smiling. But you didn't even eat breakfast properly,
Yeah,
man.
just 2 spoonfuls of cereal to
You
get out the
know?
door.
You didn't even wash your body thoroughly. You just next thing you know, you're in the office, bro. You know. So he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. That's why they want to have minimal parent and child contact time.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's heavy, man.
Minimal. The moment you wake up, you got 2 hours. Then your ass got to be at a computer screen, and your child's got to be checking into the morning form.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if your child ain't there on time, they're sending the parent text messages.
Text
Yeah.
me, where's your child and this and that.
Yeah.
You know, school's a prison. And then you come home, at your from work, you know, they give them homework, further indoctrination,
Further encroaching on the parents' time with the child.
child, and then before you know it, it's bedtime and then repeat tomorrow.
Can't. then maybe on the weekend you can spend time with your child, but then the parents are so busy because they got to do the shopping and everything else.
Yeah. And my school was so demonic, they introduced Saturday school.
Wow.
It was compulsory, man. Okay? It became compulsory to attend on Saturdays, man. And then they had Saturday detention, man.
What the fuck? I've never heard of that.
Yep.
We're in a capital.
It's a Catholic school I went to. They had Saturday detention. Now, here's the munchip. Detention was and the head teacher said it's because what did he say, man? He actually, I believe that head teacher, he knows what I'm into, man.
He's a high level mason.
Yeah, he's a mason, bro. Because he just pulled, that school's big. He just pulled me into his office. And I remember I was in a class, not even like it was free time or anything. I was actually in a class, and one of them run around helper staff came into the class. Oh, Ken, such and such, my name. Can you come out, please? You need to come with me. I'm thinking, what?
What's going on here? Yeah.
This is the one day I behaved myself. I don't think I'm in trouble. Next thing you know, I'm knocking on the head teacher's office, man. Nobody could go in his office.
Yeah.
You walk in there, he got it decked out, man. He's got like a Alan Sugar apprentice you can now go through woman.
Yeah.
Through woman. She's there. You never know his office was this massive, man. Some bitch there just sitting there. You can now go through. I think, what the fuck is this? I said to her, who am I here to see? She said, you're here to see the head teacher. I was in year 11. So then I sat down, leather sofas, you got classical music in the background, you know. The bitch offered me tea. I was like, no, I don't want your tea, man. You know. And then he came through, you know, she said, you can go through now. She opened the door, another massive room, you know, big boardroom chairs. And then he just sat me down, right? Say this is the table, big table, but he came leaning right over it. Some Edomite guy. And he looked me straight in the eye.
That's intimidation.
He didn't blink once, man. He looked me straight in the eye. And he said my name, and he said, you, sir, and his eyes are getting wider.
Trying to intimidate.
You, sir, have a lot of potential.
He was trying to seduce
Yeah,
you.
don't waste it. I was like, what the? So I was like, I can't lie, I got a bit shook. I was like, okay, okay, like, what's gonna happen here? And he's like, what did he say? He said to me, keep doing what you're doing. He's trying to make it seem like it's schoolwork. He wasn't talking about no fucking schoolwork, man. He know what the fuck I was into. He goes, you keep doing what you're doing, but you have a lot of potential. Don't waste it. You can leave.
So what's this talk about?
What the fuck is that all
Yeah.
about, bro? He's into something, man.
Right.
He's into something, cause I know that, bro. Them Catholics, I seen judge happen straight in the school, man. In their ceremonies, man. Well, I seen a lot of shit in that place, man. That place is hell. Every time I go past there, it's fucked up, man. You can ask your brother, man. I ain't lying, bro. That school is fucked up, man. You know. But so you come home now. There's no parent-child contact. You do repeat. You have Saturday school. Read that one more time.
Yeah. Sirach 30:3 again. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Yeah. So when you actually teach your children, they're getting pissed.
Yeah.
Because the 5 days, Monday to Friday at school,
It's been undone.
That's been undone. Because when you send your son to school, you got his peers, Timmy and Tommy, you know, wearing dresses and shit. You send your son to school in uniform. Yeah, what you doing, buddy? What's wrong with that? So, but you come home and tell them for the 3 hours at max you get with them. No, son, that's wrong. That's no. They go to school and get told something else. So your child's brain is violently getting tossed to and fro between wickedness and righteousness. So he that teacheth his son grieves the enemy, because all the hard work of demonic activity they're trying to put into your child, you're undoing that, man.
Exactly.
So again, all right, he gave them power over demons, man, and unclean spirits. That's really that's first the mindset. This is how powerful the truth is. That's why they invested so much money in not making you understand as our people as a whole who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Because the moment you realize you're an Israelite, all their hard work of demonic activity starts to get undone.
Exactly.
That's why, and the brothers up top mentioned that many years ago, man. A limousine went past the camp, and someone got out and said, "How do you know that? How do you know that?" And they jumped back in. You got elites actually putting in billions, man. Hitler said it, man. If the Negroes knew that they were the Jews, man, and how much we've invested to hide it from them. Even Hitler said that, man. Okay? You come into this, and the enemy starts to get pissed off, man.
Yeah.
Because you're teaching them righteousness. What's the first thing I said? You're teaching them to be conscious of the oneness of the Most High. You're teaching them to serve the Most High. You know, and he thought, oh, that's abuse. You can't tell a child that. How the fuck is that abuse, man? Telling your child that God exists and you're here to serve God. How is that abuse? But then Timmy can go in a dress and that's liberation.
Exactly. If I may just add to your point, we're not going to do this because it's not wise anyway. But I'm just saying hypothetically, it's okay for you to send your child to a school in a dress. Let's say Timmy's a boy, you can send him to school in a dress. What if you send him to school in a garment with fringes?
Oh,
That would be the end of it. He's like, oh, he's one of these.
He's a T word.
We used this word at the camp the other day. He's part of that sect.
Yeah.
You know, those black Hebrew Israelites. They're teaching hate. It'll be all this kind of talk, man. Now, as I said, we're not going to do that because it's not wise. But I'm just saying, you can be your child can be a boy, call himself a girl, and they've even got it to the point now where they've got non-binary toilets and shit in schools. You know, and parents say, I don't want them to go into the boys' toilet. They should go into the non-binary and shit. So you're teaching children all this madness. But again, as the brother said, if you try and teach them about the truth of God, now you're abusing your child.
Yeah, they're gonna link you up with Muslims. That's the number one go-to. They're gonna say, oh yeah, your child's a Muslim.
Extremists.
Extremists. Then from Islam, trying to associate you with Islam, they're gonna say, oh, you're a T word. Then they're gonna try. Your child's gonna. If you send your child, I will never send my son or daughter to school in a garment because that's when social service will get involved. That you send your child to school in that, they ain't coming home again. You know? And then they have them questions. I remember that getting asked that in reception before year 1 and in year 1 as well. You know, you 5 years old, 6 years old. When you're naughty, does mommy and daddy hit you?
So they want you to G up your parents.
Yeah, you can tell us it's safe. You know? You know, so they're really trying to find out information, man.
Yeah.
Oh, what's been undone from what we're teaching you within closed doors, within your parents' home? What are they telling you? What are they doing to you, man? You know?
Just a quick point. It was in like the early 1990s, I believe, when they started to stop parents from, what do they call it, punishing their children by smacking them. And I can attest to this because I've seen it with my own eyes. That ever since that Esau started preventing children from discipline, Esau started preventing parents from properly disciplining their children, the younger generation have just become more and more wicked. Because it's like, I was talking to you about this in a week. These children, they weren't disciplined at home and they're not getting disciplined at school. School's practically teaching them, be lawless, do what you want, because they want your children to grow up to be niggers, to then go out and stab each other. Because guess what? Esau loves that. When he sees Jake on Jake crime, they love that. But really, he's teaching you like, oh yeah, it's for the best that you don't beat your children, when really your children are going to grow up wicked anyway. What did the scriptures say? We read it, we quoted it earlier. If the child doesn't receive any chastening, he is no longer a son but a bastard. Roughly paraphrasing.
That's in Hebrews.
Yeah. Do you want me to read Matthew? Matthew. Right,
Yeah, you could go to a rich area. You could go Richmond, Richmond and Harrow. If niggas went there in tracksuits with knives and started stabbing up Harrow boys,
it would be a big
it
deal.
would be a big issue. You know, knife crime would have been tackled. You know, but if you're in the hood doing that, you get a little bit of Sadiq Khan on the BBC News.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah, well, we're trying the best we are. I can. But yeah.
Yeah.
You know, within the Metropolitan Police has invested thousands.
Yeah.
We're gonna put more staff on the streets.
We're going to have a robust inquiry.
Yeah. You know, don't fight the police. They're there to help you.
Yeah.
Stop and search. This is the importance of it.
Yeah.
But then you go to Harrow and chef up some guy called Edward. Right?
Or not even a Becky would be
Becky.
worse.
Yeah, you stab up a Becky. You know, she comes out of school with her top hat on. You slice her guts open. You know, that would be the worst thing going. That would get cracked down.
You get life.
You get life. You know, but then on the news, You fucking niggas, man. You think the BBC News don't take the piss out of you? They'll have the vigil there with the flowers. You know, somebody from Hackney got stabbed to death, and they'll actually get cameras. ITV News, Sky News, BBC News. Some stupid fat bitch from the community gospel choir singing on the roadside.
Yeah.
And BBC there, this is the news of 6.
And they show the flowers and the photos and a little candle
Yeah.
with a beer there.
The devastating knife crime, the pandemic of youth, and then they'll have some nigger that came out of jail, you know, hiring some stupid little hole somewhere, talking about, yeah, I work with the community.
Yeah.
And I just want to
Outreach
get
groups.
outreach. we got the table tennis going.
Yeah.
What the fuck is table tennis gonna do for black children killing each other, man?
They should be teaching the scriptures, man.
But then you think that these high Edomites ain't turning on the BBC News and laughing at you, man? But go to Richmond and do that, man. Go Richmond and do that shit, man. Okay? You just be there, man. You be there, and their vibe is they're already looking at you different, man.
So they step the
You
train.
step out them, you know. Like my demon, man, like she's a fucking demon, but I was telling you, like she's like the best of the worst you could get. You know, she hangs around them kind of high end, you know, classy bitch. Yeah, I'm not like that. So when I'm with her in their areas, they start looking at you like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
And they don't make it hidden that they're looking
Yeah,
at you.
like you're out of spec, you know. I remember went to one breakfast joint, you know, them the high end, you know. She's like, I said to her, man, how the fuck did you bring me here, man? You know I don't like this shit.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you let them, you know, but yeah, I can't be bothered, man. Every day I'm so, oh, where do you want to go, man? We go, okay, where do you want to, just tell me the place we'll go. You know, she's choosing them high end. They got the little nicely puppies, you know, puppies in the shop behaving.
Yeah.
You know, the coffee, the lattes, the cucumber juice. Them high end Edomites, man.
Yeah.
Walk up in there, I don't even look like I'm just meant to be
yeah.
there, man. They're looking at, they make noises.
Scoffing.
You know me, man. Yeah, I could, you know, your icon, supplant, man. I can supplant, man. You know, you talk, but I don't like doing that sometimes, man. Now, I'm gonna make you feel uncomfortable, man. You know, if you're uncomfortable by me, and I ain't going in there like a nigga, man. I'm not saying I'm just being me, you know, but they don't like that.
They don't want you to be. They want you to take all the bass out your voice.
Yeah.
They want you to be clean shaven.
Yeah.
Wearing a suit and tie, carrying a briefcase.
Yeah.
Stepping and fetching.
Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
I've actually done that before. There's been times where I finish work and I'm wearing the suit jacket. You know, you're wearing the white shirt. You link up with the bird. You go to somewhere and they respect you as a couple more. You know. Oh, it's one of the fortunate black ones.
Yeah.
They made it together. You know. But then you go in there just being you and you're,
Yeah.
you know, weirdos, man. Go on now, read.
But this is Matthew 10 verse 1. And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean
You even had
spirits.
Jake doing that to the Lord, because the Lord weren't one of them prim and proper Israelites.
Yeah.
He was a bit rough, man.
They said he had a spirit on him, innit?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, the demon. They say he had a
the
demon.
Lord came out. That's Joseph's son. You know Jake think they're up there, man.
Yep.
Don't get Jake just, you know, Israel, ancient world weren't just ragamuffins. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, they were kind of up there, Jake. Because they were they were happy to be around Esau, you know. Because when the Lord was on the scene, you had Edomites in the 1st century claiming to be Jews. So you had that vibration of white people, as it were, in and about the faith, man. Even when the Lord was on the scene, that 1st century, man. You know, the Lord came into the synagogue and they were doing that same Edomite shit. What he said there. Yeah. Wait, this is Joseph's son. They were scorning him. Now, was the Lord walking around like a nigger? No. He was a well-kept individual. You know, he kept it basic. Isaiah 53 tells us that. But he was a You know, you got people like the ISUPK, they'll make it known. They'll make it known that they want to fight you and shit.
Like in that video.
In that video that surfaced the other, my ex bitch, she used to be from South London. I remember walking in Sainsbury's with her, and you had these two ISUPK dudes. You know, they probably don't know me because I'm a nobody in the grand scheme of things, but just the vibration they had.
Yeah, strutting.
It's like, bro, what are you doing? Man? It's not even a normal walk, man. Like, bro,
Yeah.
there's a walk, there's a march. They were skinny marga dudes,
Yeah.
but they're doing that.
Bringing up
Like,
the chest.
why are you doing that, bro? Like, you weren't made like that, you know? Walking up the Sainsbury's aisle like that, bro, what are you doing? They had the black on, they had the fringes,
And the purple.
and the sunglasses inside. Here
Oh,
it is,
ISUPK.
you're walking down the fucking frozen meat section with sunglasses on. Bro, are you alright, man? You know, the Lord weren't like that. He was just he kept it kind of low key. When he needed to be out there, he was out there. But other than that, the Lord was a normal dude, man. You know, he wasn't doing all of that. Okay? So he gave power to the 12, man, to get rid of unclean spirits. Read that, bro.
That includes Judas.
Yeah, even Judas. We'll get into all of that, man.
Right, Matthew 10 again, verse 1. And when he had called unto him his disciples, 12, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out,
We'll go back to that.
to cast them out, and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
So that's the truth first and foremost. The sicknesses is the philosophies, man. You know, you had Jews, because even see, man, the truth moves on. This is why I always push it. I always tell brothers, man, always watch the apostles, bro. Always watch the apostles. If somebody comes up to the camp, if somebody comes up to the camp and they want a page, you can give them your page. Always give them the apostles' page first, man, because the truth can move. You know, the Lord told Nicodemus that in the garden. He came to see him at night time. He said the spirit is like the wind. There's the doctrine, which we're not saying the doctrine changes, but over time, new things get revealed. So if you're just stuck on the old, that's why there's certain guys we know. They're sincere, but they're in that 2013 vibe. Yeah, because they're not really moving with the spirit as things progress, as things mature. So they may be teaching the truth, but they're in that 2013 spirit. And it's like, I can see you ain't really grown, man.
Yeah.
You know? So you had sincere people that they were still, even the truth, that's my point. When you don't move with the spirit, even the truth can become a wayward philosophy unto you. You had people that were teaching sincerely, but they only taught the baptism of John. They couldn't receive Yahweh Shai. So even though what they were teaching was correct, it became a philosophy. That's why the IUIC is a philosophy. And, oh, you're Israel, yeah. The laws, you know, okay.
But even their name is off, because not all Israel is meant to be united in Christ.
Yeah.
Take Christ out of the equation, all Israel is not going to be united on this side.
And because Nate went backwards, now whatever version of truth that is there is now a wayward philosophy. This is why there's an importance of having the 100% truth, man. You know, 100% of it, because you could just, no, I got it now. Yeah, I don't need to watch anymore. Okay, something new, the Spirit reveals something new and takes things in another direction. You're still in 2012, man. And then you wonder why it's just not working out for you. Yeah, the Spirit's like the wind. The scripture says they follow the Lamb with us wherever he goeth, man. So if your house has the Spirit go over there, but he was going this direction before, so he's gone that way now. What are you doing? Did you keep up? You know. So the first demons he gave them power to get rid of was the unclean spirits of even within the truth. That's why Yahweh Shai is a stumbling block to people. Because at the time we knew we were Israelites.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't no Israelite walking around like, yeah, I believe. No, we knew what we were. We knew the temple, the synagogues in the neighboring towns. We knew we were the Israelites. But it was accepting Yahweh Shai as the come Mashiach. That was a bit hard for some people. So casting out demons is revealing unto them Yahweh Shai. That's why when people come into the truth, you don't want to tell them, oh yeah, well, you gotta keep the fringes, brother. You know, bro, a guy might not put on a garment for a long time, but is he learning of Yahweh Shai? You know, or he comes in I don't know, January, February. He comes in late February, and the Pesach usually falls early March to mid-March. He's been around for 3 weeks or 2 months.
He's not ready.
Yeah, you gotta come to the Pesach, brother. You know, you gotta drink the yarn and, you know, the Torah blessing. But does he know about Yahweh Shai? You know?
And that goes back to circumcision as well.
Of the heart. So the first casting off of demons is revealing Yahweh Shai onto people, man. Then you keep reading, because it gets into actual unclean spirits, which is that worldly vibration as well.
Right, back in Matthew 10, verse 2. Says, now the names of the 12 apostles are these: the first Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother.
Now when you check it, the Lord approached Andrew first. Simon and Andrew were biological brothers, but the Lord actually went to Andrew first. You know, but it was that Peter, you know, he came. You can come in before someone, and then they end up being over you. You know, it's very rare. You know, but the Lord gives us rare examples in the truth, so that when these things happen, it's like, okay, well, there's scriptures on that, man. Andrew was called before Peter, man. You know. Go on.
Yeah, so it says, then the names of the 12 apostles are these: Simon first, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the publican, and James the son of Alphaeus, and Lebbaeus, whose surname was Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him.
Listen, Judas even had power, man. You know, you talk about the son of perdition, yeah, but for a period of time, he prophesied, man. He was with the Lord, man. He was doing things. You know, that's why we can't get cocky, because you can be around, you know, a prominent brother, you know,
Doing great works.
And then the time comes, Satan jumps on your ass, man. Most I forbid, and then you start getting wayward thoughts. You know, you don't rebuke it. You follow through with them thoughts, man. The scripture says from that time Satan was on him.
Yeah.
So Judas he didn't even have autonomy over his own thoughts or actions, man. That's why he was in the Passover, and he was getting jittery, man. He was actually in the Passover, man. The 12 was in the upper room. He was actually there, man. You know. Then the Lord started basically throwing that righteous shade. Yeah, one of you is gonna betray me, man.
The same one who dips his
And
hand.
then they started asking, is it I? Is it I? He said, the one who dips his hand in a dish with me. Well, you would think to yourself, if I'm that nigga,
Yeah, I'm not gonna do
well,
it.
I ain't gonna do it then. Yeah, I ain't gonna blow my cover. But Satan was on Judas so heavy, that saying of Yahushua went over his head. So when Yahushua went for the dish to dip the bread in it, Judas went for the dish at the same time. But then he still stayed there. See that? I don't get people that do party Passovers, man. Look at the Lord's one. That was intense. He still sat there with them, and they're eating the Pesach. You know, lamb, the herbs and the bread, the unleavened bread and stuff, and the yayan. And then he started getting jittery, man. He was in there looking around, and you know. So your house, I said, go and do what you have to do, man. You know, like when you're in the house with someone, or you could just be talking to somebody, you can tell they don't want to be there anymore. Yeah, fuck off then. Don't pretend to be here, or you're just jittery, man. Your house, I said to him, go and do what you have to do, and do it quickly. Okay? Meaning that, yeah, go and make your final preparations with the temple guards, because not too long from now, you and them gonna come here and arrest me. You know? But before then, Judas was with the 12. Yeah, this is the Messiah. Yeah. The miracles. You know, when the Lord did when he multiplied the bread and fish,
Yeah, the
the
loaves of fish.
scripture speak about there were 12 baskets. Judas probably was manning one of the baskets. Yeah, people come. Bread, fish.
Yeah.
He was doing mighty works. You know, he received the power too. But then when the time came, the Holy Spirit came off of him, and Satan jumped on him, man.
But he was also a thief too at the same time.
Yeah.
Because he was stealing from the
He was stealing from the treasury, man. You know, yeah.
He was doing too much.
You had brothers. I'm not saying this brother Judas. I'm not saying that, but you had brothers even in this camp at one point, man. yeah, if I remember, yeah, you know, questioning brothers about the treasury and shit. You know, questioning dude, oh, what's that? And what?
Bloody hell.
You know, you had to get got onto. Who the fuck are you doing? That's not your office, bro.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not
Oh,
your,
yeah.
it's not your office. Just shut the fuck up, bro. Furthermore, you came here like 6 months ago, and now you want to be asking who's head of what and who's doing what. The wayward spirits, inquisitive. See, be careful of the name you take in Hebrew, man.
Yeah,
That can fuck you up, man. You know, I want to be a heavy name. Yeah, okay. All right.
You've got the broad shoulders to carry it, though.
Yeah, all right, yeah. All right, then we'll see. You know, Judas, he was like that, man. He was very inquisitive because at the start, he was so no. Just, bro, keep it in-house, man. Yahushua is your master. There's the order. Just keep it there, man. No, he wanted to go to them and, yeah, we can involve these people.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what it was, he really wanted to take down the Romans. His intentions were pure, but then he didn't keep order. People talk about order all the time. Why are you talking about that? Okay, then. You don't keep order, you end up like Judas, man. You're trying to involve exterior people into the internal setup, man. And then they go and snake your ass. You disobey rank and order. Now the Holy Spirit's off you. Satan's on your ass. And now you're swinging from a tree. Be careful, man.
Precept?
You all gotta be careful. Go on, bro.
Now, the interesting thing about this precept is that it's 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 40, and within it you've got 144.
Yeah.
And it says, let all things be done decently and in order.
Yeah, there you go. Straight to the point. Decently and in order, man. You know? So, see, go back to Matthew 10. You got Christians that will use that, you know, especially, you know, Jake. You know, they go up in the church, I fire, I command you fire, and they're rolling around and doing all kind of crap, having fits, man. That's not what the Lord was doing, man. Okay? He was just healing people in an orderly fashion, but when he gave the power to the disciples, the first application of that is the truth, man. You just get that, thy word is a lamp unto my feet.
Come on. I'm going to read this first, we'll get that now.
You read that first and get that, and then you got something. Yeah.
I'll finish it. But I'll get the other one as well, yeah?
Can't. Finish on this first and then we'll
Right.
get this one.
Verse 5, Matthew 10 and 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go ye rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
So as you go, preach saying the kingdom of heaven and hand. This is what we do, man. And the kingdom starts with what? The word, man. You know? That, you know, you got guys that talk for like target audiences. They set up in weirdo places, you know, do weirdo things, and then, nah, man. We're here for the lost sheep, man. Now we know that there's gonna be a lot more people that don't agree with this than agreed. You know? But we're here to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You can't preach that if the power has not been given, man. That's why there was, you know, there's been people and examples of harping on about people, but the Lord sends things and people for examples, man, to learn from.
Yeah.
You know, a brother does something good, you can learn from that and emulate that. A brother does something bad, you can also learn from that.
Yep.
Don't do that, man. There's many mistakes that I know personally I could have made in the truth, but someone else made it before me. Okay, I ain't gonna do that then, because, you know, that's what happens, man. You know?
If I could say King David, you know, we got an example like him as a man after the Most High, Jehovah's own heart. He went off though, you know, he went off, but
A lot of times.
it shows that you can go off extremely, but I'm not saying you do what he did, but you can go off as a man of the Lord, but you can also repent as well, sincerely too.
Yep.
But you just make their examples, good and bad examples, we could learn from, you know.
Yep. Got to read
I've got a precept, right? Psalms 119 and 105 says, thy word is a lamp unto thy foot and a light unto thy path.
Let's get the scripture where it speaks about Yahushua and the demons. What have we to do with us?
Oh yeah, the vagabond
Read
Jews.
that again.
Yeah. Psalms 119 and 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my foot and a light unto my path.
Yeah, so a part of darkness and that demonic activity in
Yep.
the absence of light, man. You need people walking around in summertime, that summer demon, you know, there's more daylight,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, all of that stuff, okay. Not knowing that they're walking in darkness, man.
Yeah.
That's when we said it, the ways of this world is demonic. People are under possession
Yeah.
of the devil, man, of Satan, man. You know, you actually got high level witches and that operating, man. You know, we used to teach in a location. A guy came up to us and said, "Oh, do you know about the witches and the gathering they have at night time?" You know, a lot of witches. London has the most witches, man.
Yeah.
England, I should say, has the most witches. Okay, you can
Yeah.
go to various places and there's pure witches there.
Yeah. And you know where I'm gonna say where it is where I live, but the name is named after witches. Oh, actually, there's a road that comes from where I live. Comes from where I live and it goes up to where you live. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the name of
Oh
the
yeah,
road?
I know what you're
That's
talking
named
about.
after witches.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Okay? Bro, come on, man. You got a lot of witches out there in Scotland and shit. Sacrifices, man, happen.
Glastonbury.
Glastonbury.
What's the other one? Stonehenge.
Stonehenge, yeah. That was on Telegram.
Brothers have been there and had accounts of people talking to them on that level, man. Like, you know what happens out here, man. You know? Okay? Even where we used to teach. Remember that time we went into the shop, the stone shop,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
vibration was just...
You told me about
yeah,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, the vibration was off, man. We went into that stone shop, you just knew that this is some next left-hand energy up in here, man. And they were just all kind of cold in there with us, you know. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's alright. It's alright. You could be cold with us because naturally your spirit don't agree with us. I'm not expecting you to be happy and nice. Be the devil. Be cold and aloof. It's okay. But you got a lot of witches out in England, man. You know, people go missing. You know, there's currently one dude. He's missing. They've been posting it for ages, man. You know, actually know his sister, man. You know. Yeah, every day posting on the Instagram. Yeah, if you can find him. I don't mean to be negative, man. I don't mean to be negative. But if a dude has been missing for like 3 weeks plus, yeah, and he left for work and didn't come back, man, something happened to him, man. He ain't a man of the Lord. He ain't a man of the Lord. He's just a nigga out here under a possession of whatever the fuck demon he's got, and he's gone missing for free. Oh no, there's still hope. Are you sure?
Well, if there's still hope for Maddie, there's got to be hope
Yeah,
for him.
yeah. Oh, come on, man. Yeah. Little McCann.
Yeah.
Are you serious, bro? People go missing, man. You know, babies getting swapped at the hospital. Those type of things happen, man. You know, okay. So at the end of the day, man, we ain't ignorant, as the scripture says. Someone can hold that to Satan's devices, man.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, don't think this is just a pure society where I go to work, I go school, I come home. No. There's a lot more demonic things happening right under your nose than you can perceive, man.
That's right.
This guy's the devil, bro. We're not dealing with just some white guy in a suit. We're talking about people that fucking speak to spirits, man.
That's right.
Revelation 19 verse 19, the spiritual side of the beast system, the Roman Catholic Church. They actually speak to demons, bro. They get, you know, they get logged in, man.
Yeah,
you know, you log in your password, they get tapped into that realm.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do their rituals where they summon demons, where they draw the circles on the floor and the pentagrams and shit, and they summon demons and commune with them, man.
Let's read that.
2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
So you got a lot of people out here that push Israel and all of that. Not knocking other, well, fuck it, yeah. Call it what you like. These other Israelite dudes that, come here, Sharalaran, the kingdom, and we're gonna beat the heathen with a rod of iron arc. Okay. What about before that, man? What about getting to that stage, man? We're about to see a high. It's gonna intensify, man. I don't know why the Spirit's got me talking about demons and left hand shit. But that's what's happening right now, man. That's the reality of the world we live in, bro. Okay, the Lord said it. I send you as sheep among wolves. What the fuck are the wolves doing then? What are they doing? Are they pretending to be sheep and man? No. They're actually doing things that's dangerous, man, for your soul. If you're not tapped into this, you're susceptible to the danger of the wolf out there, man. He's got your soul, man. He's got you. Read it again, man.
Yeah.
People are like, nah, I got it. No, you ain't got it. He's got you, man. The devil's actually got people out here, man.
That's right.
This ain't no, what are you talking about risky? This is risky roads, man. This is real risky roads. This is intense business, man. All right, the spiritual man judgeth all things, man.
Done.
This ain't no fucking game. Yeah, the bus there, and the car, and the phone. People like doing identifying games, man. I'm just living life identifying shit.
Like what's that game you used to play as a child? I Spy.
I Spy, yeah. Their whole life is a big fucking game of I Spy, man.
Yeah.
Read that, bro.
2 Corinthians 2 and verse 11 again, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Yeah, his plans, his procedures, man. All these things he's putting in place, we're not ignorant of that, man. These people, they're ignorant to it, you know. The C19 thing happened, okay. The lockdowns, you know, financial things, the CBDC thing. Why is it only Great Millstone when we talk about that? None of these other camps are getting into that. They're just talking about you can have fun in the truth, like, yeah.
So
The nigga actually said that. He said, what did he say? Yeah, we do the same thing you do in the world. So you came into the truth to do the same thing that's done in the world. Are you alright, bro? For we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. That's why brothers go through fucked up shit, man. You know, brothers go through mental battles. It's like you're tormented in your head sometimes. You know, because your surroundings is utter wickedness, man. And your spirit, you've been delivered. You've been delivered from wicked demons, man. You've come into the truth and you're delivered from that shit. You know?
That's beautiful.
So what did it say about Lot, his righteous soul?
vexed
Being
every day.
vexed with the
With the unlawful deeds of the wicked.
of the wicked.
Vexed
What
with
are
the filthy conversation
of the wicked, man. So we come into the truth, and you're day by day we're being cleaned, but we're vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. That's your day-to-day life, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I appreciate when you're ready, yeah?
Did you finish on that?
Yeah,
That
let's
particular
read,
one?
yeah, ignorance
Yeah,
against
read that and
devices.
then go back to it.
You was talking about everything, there's things that go on around us, right?
Yeah.
So this is in Ezekiel chapter 8. I just hit some of the bullet points. I read from the top of chapter 8, and I read from the top. It says, it came to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I sat in my house, and the elders of Judah sat before me, that the hand of the Lord God fell upon me. Right, so this is what's going on. It's going to break it down. It's going to say. In 5 now it says, then said he unto me, Son of man, lift up thine eyes now the way toward the north. So I lifted up mine eyes that the way toward the north, and behold, wayward at the gate of the altar. This,
By the way, the prophet's coming back. Lord willing, we believe we're those men. We're more vexed than the prophets were back then because we know more than them. They got the writings and maybe understood like, oh, okay, have an idea. They may have been thinking it's talking about there and then and shit. But the prophets coming back actually know more than the prophets back then. You know, the understanding of it. So when you can get into something deeper and understand what it's precisely talking about, it vexes you more. You know?
Sure.
Like when you was a Christian in the world, you'd get the general idea of, yeah, Jesus is good and the devil's bad. You know? Okay. But then when you actually have the proper understanding of the scriptures, it pleases you more in righteousness, the happier you can be, but then also the more sad you can become. Because you get the depth and the entirety of what it's actually speaking about.
Precepts on that point.
We go and read that and then we go.
yeah.
Ecclesiastes 1 verse 18, for in much wisdom is much grief, And he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow.
Yeah, so you come into the truth. That's why it takes time before brothers come into the camp, man, because you gotta know what the fuck you're signing up for, man. And then you go up another level, you're actually in the camp now. Satan gets more pissed off with you, man.
That's right.
You know, Satan, oh, he actually made it. You know, you got demons bashing their heads, man. Because they get got onto too. Don't think that the spirit, the left-hand side is just disorderly. The left-hand side is very much orderly. Like, imagine a demon failing a mission and going back to Satan. Ah, shit.
He got away.
I didn't do it. You know, Satan's fucking that demon up, man. You know, you gotta go, you're gonna send a stronger demon on you now.
Yeah.
Then you in the flesh, that temptation's worse, that thought is worse, that battle is worse, that sickness becomes worse, that situation you're dealing with in your personal life becomes worse.
Sleep paralysis can get worse.
Sleep paralysis gets worse, you know, and then all of a sudden now, you realize that's a higher level demon, man. Read that one more time, bro.
Back in Ecclesiastes.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 1 again, and verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief.
Yep.
And he that increaseth knowledge.
So the wisdom brings grief, man, because again, you'll be just like Lot, you become vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, man. You know? You gotta step outside your house and see Timmy and Tommy holding hands.
Yeah.
You know, and they give you that spirit of what? What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
You can't do nothing.
Yeah.
You know? And many other things.
Yeah.
I was on the, so luckily don't mean to interject inappropriately, but I was on the bus yesterday at 7 p.m, 7:30. I saw two grown men holding hands, wearing dresses, and they weren't even trying to look like women. They were literally just men wearing dresses. And I'm looking at them thinking,
with
fuck.
beards on and shit.
Yeah, beards on, hairy legs and shit. And I'm just looking thinking, what the fuck? Like, they're so brazen with it now because they know, obviously, we're not in a position to be able to do anything.
That's why the scripture says it had been more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah. So this place has superseded Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Imagine that. This place is where it concerns filth and wickedness. This place is outdone Sodom.
That's right.
If I could say, if we was to stop at every dog that barks, right? That movie, They Live, because Roddy Piper was fighting with Keith David, right? And that fight was because he was trying to. But let me say this: if we was to react to every impulse, what we see, because the most you mentioned wisdom, yeah, wisdom opens your eyes, your visual vision. If I'm saying right, your visual vision gets wider. And as you said, there's levels, so you see more. So if we were to react in a carnal way to what we see in the spirit, we'd be kicking dogs, we'd be knocking people out, we'd be fighting. I know 100% if I responded to every impulse I felt like to react to, I'd be just, I might be just talking to him, I might just say, I'm fed up with this shit.
Yeah,
BAM! Knock that motherfucker out, man.
That's why the
But we
scriptures
don't,
say.
I'm not, don't do that.